Well, hello and a very good afternoon, good morning. Welcome to Crafters TV. It is Thursday and we are here for another jam-packed day. I can't believe it's Thursday already. It's like the 20-something of May. It's like the 27th of May today or something. I can't believe we're this far through the week and indeed this far through the year. It is absolutely flying by. And today's flying by because we're having a lot of fun. We have got the lovely Gwen from Creative Expressions with us, and she's going to be back in just an hour's time bringing us a whole host of brand new goodies that you guys have been loving. And we'll touch more on that in just a little while. But we are here either side of that between now and 3 o'clock and indeed after 4 for launch day, where we are looking at a brand new collection. It is our fantastic decoupage stamp and die collection when it comes to our florals. You guys loved it on the little preview that we gave it this morning on Wake Up Call. Lots of you have been jumping in and buying it, and I'll give you all the details you need in just a few moments time. But first up, let's head over to the creative side of the studio and have a look at some lovely projects and cards with one of my absolute faves. She's back from her holidays. She's been away for about 6 weeks. It's the lovely Debbie Fisher.
It's not been that long. It's not been that long.
It's been longer.
Hi everyone. I love this show because I'm not even got started, but I'm loving it already because it's full of flowers, full of florals, full of decoupage flowers. I just want to take a minute to appreciate these little sweet peas on here. These are amazing. I mean, wouldn't you want to be creating beautiful flowers like this? Look at this.
Oh,
I mean,
wow.
they're
They look real.
insane. I mean, they're beautiful, aren't they? So incredible. You're coming to have a close-up, aren't you, Ben?
I just want to have a squinch.
They're card.
Ha! They look real.
Card. They're amazing, aren't they?
Yeah.
So amazing. They're real. No, they're not. There's lots of different ones. You haven't got to choose if you're going for all of them, but Ben will let you know we've made some really affordable little sets for you as well. But you can do these amazing projects, put them on anything you want, add your sentiments. The sweet peas are fast becoming my favourites because there's so many different things. Have a play with these dies and stamps. They are absolutely incredible. The lily's beautiful. You can make that in so many different ways. Look at that, creating sort of just lots of different variations on them. And the lilac has all these little flowers that you can cut out and put on top to create that real 3D element. If I just turn it around that way, you can see how much that 3D up there.
Yeah.
So you're getting that decoupage works, which is incredible. So yeah, we're going to be going through lots of different demos this afternoon, showing you lots of different ways and how to make them. If you've got any questions or anything that you want to see, you know we're live, so just send the questions in to Ben and he will ask me. So it'll be a good show, Ben.
It is going to be good. We are live and interactive. Get in touch on Facebook and indeed on YouTube. And like you've already seen, you know, perfect for your cards, perfect for your boxes, perfect for table decorations, perfect for home decor. Also perfect for, what did you say, Erin? Boutonniere? I think boutonniere. Also perfect for, I think you mean your boutonniere. Boutonniere, isn't it?
Boutonniere.
If you mean like to wear yeah, I'm sure it's called a boutonniere, isn't it? Not boutonniere. As Debbie was showing the cards, Erin was going because she's always very helpful. You know, she's always chatting, giving ideas and suggesting these would be great for a boutonniere. I said, what? I was like, boutonniere. And I was like, what? Boutonniere. Boutonniere. Yes. Boutonniere. Stop saying that in my ear. You go, Munir. Let's have a look at all of the collections. So, the full collection is £90, give or take 6 pence. Over $100. However, we always give you a discount, even on a launch, because we're crazy like that. So we're giving you almost £20 off, $22.40. So it comes down to $69.99 or $79.30. Platinum price is £55.99 or $63.44. Also, if you are new to us here, if you're watching because of Creative Expressions, head to the website down there, click that tab just there with the Club Inspire button and get 20% off your first order by signing up to our club for free. But look at the flowers that you're going to get. We've picked some real gorgeous ones here. Like your sweet pea, for example, and they've been sized beautifully as well, the stamps and dies, to work perfectly with each other. So each and every time you stamp out your image and colour it and then die cut it, you're going to get perfect results each and every time. And these will all play beautifully with each other too. We've picked some gorgeous flowers from your sweet pea to one of the most beautiful stamp and die sets as far as carnations are concerned. And again, you know, you've got the ability here to be able to colour these in the colour that you want them to be. You've got the ability again to, you know, use your cardstock, use your paper, use your vellum if you want. You've got all those sorts of different mediums too. And of course, you've got the ability to cut these multiple times to give you as much depth and dimension as you would want. And can you see we've featured some of the most gorgeous flowers? So that one there is your fuchsia. Your fabulous fuchsia. So again, get multi-stamping, multi-cutting these, and flowers for all occasions, for all times of the year, for all people. This is really going to be a set that you will come back to time and time and time again. I truly believe one of those sets that you'll have to hand, because you know the size of these stamps and dies are amazing. The ease of use you're going to get out of them as well is astonishing, and the fact that you've got such a lovely collection of florals. That is your lovely lilac. Again, stamp it multiple times, multi-cut it and add up those different layers that you've got there. You've even got the embossed detail, of course, on the dies too. So if you just wanted to use the dies and cut out of your coloured cardstock, you still got all of that gorgeous detail in the dies. Similarly, if you just decided you didn't want to use the dies, you just wanted to use the stamped images, you've got some gorgeous, gorgeous detail on those stamps as well. That's the Delicate Lily. If you want to see a stunning demo on that one, go back to Wake Up Call from earlier on, where Debbie did put that one through its paces. That's the best value for money right there, $55.99 or $63.44. You can buy them individually, and we've also got a multi-buy for you, 2 for £26 or 2 for $30. That, of course, less your platinum discount if you're a platinum member. Rachel's on the socials today. Radical Rachel is taking all of your messages, so if you want to send a message in on Facebook or YouTube, Rachel will send them through to me. Already saying hello is Carletta Morris. Suzette Sue says hi again, Ben. Hello. Gwen's in a bit, and Debbie. The CTV team, it is Aaron and George and Willow in the gallery, plus Jamie's there as well. I thought he was going to go whoop whoop. They were all whoop whooping. Oh, he just went, yeah, all right, geezer. Rhonda's in as well, saying, hello, Debbie Fisher and Ben in block capitals. Alexia says, hello, crafty friends from Florida. Mary's in from Maine. Rhonda is in as well, saying, my doc's office has tons of lilac bushes in front of their building and it smells divine. How lovely. And Alexia saying the shading details on these stamps are very nice. Get shopping. We will get going with some demonstrations because Debbie is ready over there. Good question from Alexia straight in off the bat, saying, do we need to prime these stamps when we use them for the first time?
So I never prime any of my stamps, I have to be quite honest with you, but I think it's personal choice. I think it also depends on your ink pads. The ink pads also depend on temperatures of the room and where you leave them, whether they've dried up a little bit, whether they're really wet. So there's lots of different elements. So I would say give them a go to start with. If you then found that you wanted to prime them, you could give them a little bit of a really light dusting with a really fine sandpaper is a really good way to prime them, or put some StazOn ink onto them, which stays then makes them that colour ink, but it then gives it a good base to then put the rest of your ink. But I've not found any problems with these whatsoever. So I've been using mine at home. These ones here are brand new, so you'll see I've not primed any of the ones that we're using now, and you'll see they'll stamp really well. But I'm not going to stamp with them for the first demo. I wanted to go in and show something really simple of how we can make a simple flower.
Yeah.
So you are getting stamps with them which look beautiful. Doesn't mean you have to use them. So if you are just a die cutter, we're going to just do our die cutting. But what I am going to do, I'm going to use something that we normally all have. If we have a printer, we've all got copier paper in our stash. And now what's great about these sort of dies is you can cut through multiple layers at a time. So I'm using the Timeless Carnation one here, although I'm making it into more of a bit of a rose, and I'm going to show you how to sort of do that. Now I've took 3 sheets of copier paper, literally cheap copier paper, and I folded it in half, so I've got 6 layers, and I'm going to cut mine through 6 layers in one go.
Wow.
So, and then I've also just got some, because I love this design, I love to be able to not only cut your leaves and stamp them if you want, just cut them out of patterned cardstock.
Ooh,
so
yeah.
I'm using the Knitwits here. So the Knitwits...
Homebody. No, Kindly Thoughts.
Kindly Thoughts, that's the one. So yes, so I'm using that one just to cut out some of the leaves. And again, you can cut a couple out at a time. So let's just pop that in half. I'm just going to tear that in half so we can create with the same pattern. And then I'm going to pop that through a machine. In fact, I could use my Gemini Junior plate. So all of these will go through your Gemini Junior. All you need to do is to, I just need to cut my papers down to size.
They work in the MIDI as well, right?
Sorry, they work in the MIDI? Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. The Mini, yes, the Mini and the MIDI.
The Mini and the MIDI?
I think so. Let me have a look. Yeah, what I'll do, remind me, because I might forget, but I'm going to try and measure each one as we go along.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure none of them, in fact, you've got the package in there, Ben, you'd be able to see if any go over three inches.
Yeah.
I don't think they do.
3.8 by 3.4.
So which one's that?
That's
Lilac?
the Lily.
Oh, the Lily?
Yeah, it's quite wide.
So the Lily is the only one then that probably won't. Yeah, it's quite wide, isn't it?
Oh, hang on a minute. No, 3.4 by 4.4.
Is that the lilac?
The lilac.
I was thinking the lilac might not.
So the fuchsia will.
Fuchsia, yeah,
The
check.
carnation will.
Check.
The radiant rose 2.7 by 3.5. Yeah.
So that would go, yes, because you just turn it the other way, as long as one side is not more than 3.
And the sweet pea will go because that's 5.4 by 1.2. So they all will.
Apart from 2.
Apart from the lily and the lilac.
That's pretty good.
Yeah.
That's
that ain't
pretty
bad.
good. So
As
look at
Meatloaf
this.
said, 4 out of 6 ain't bad.
4 out of 6 ain't bad. Right, let's just pick that up because if I forget, I'll lose the die. Right, so all of these, apart from the lily and the lilac, which is not bad at all.
Not bad.
So look at this. We've got 6 layers in one go.
Okay.
Cut out.
1.
Now, what this does, so you counted 2.
Yeah. The
3.
second 3.
Oh.
4. 4. 5, 6.
So I've cut more than I need actually, but we're going to use them because the more you have, the sort of fluffier the flower. Now I love using vellum and I love using copier paper when making flowers. And you can see this is the reason I'm not stamping this one, because if you've got the afternoon and you've got a whole lot of time where you want to sit and stamp all these, do so because they'll look really pretty. But because we're demoing them, I don't really want to stand stamping every single one of them. And it would have took a lot of time to do at home, and I pre-made all my flowers. But you do, if you want to emboss them, you do get the lines inside them. Now what's great about these, I'm just going to use my ball tools. So don't think, I know our ball tools, I'm not sure if they're on the show, but they will be on the website.
Yeah.
When you use your ball tools, you can use them on anything. Just be careful with what medium. So this is copy paper, which makes it really thin.
Yeah.
You could actually do the same with tissue paper as well. But if you just go in with your ball tool, start with your biggest, and then actually go to the smallest if you need be, because otherwise you could easily tear it. So if you want them to sort of scrunch a little bit more, you can do that. So you can use both sides, but you get a really gorgeous shape and more realistic sort of edges as well. It almost sort of crimps them, and they look beautiful. But what you'll also want to do, and in fact I'm going to do it afterwards rather than every individual ones, put some ink on the edges.
Yes.
But that's best to do when you've got them all together. Now what I'm going to do to start off that first one, I want to create one that's going to curl in. So all I'm going to do is take my pokey tool. Your pokey tool and your ball tool will be your best friend in making these flowers. And all I'm going to do is curl that in, and then we're going to wrap the other one around. So we're going to create this whole petal here. And then what I am going to do, I've not long put my glue gun on, so I'm not sure if it will, oh, we might have a little bit, is it going to, oh yeah, we're okay, we've got a little bit of a bogey hanging off there.
Oh, goodness me.
A glue bogey going on.
It's not a technical term.
No, very technical, that one. There we go. So that creates your little, please be careful with your glue gun, because they are very hot. So that creates that first one, which means that then you can start putting these around and creating that inner piece. So that's all we're going to do. We're going to start to wrap that around. So each step of the way, let's pop a piece of glue in the centre.
Okay.
And we're just going to start to wrap that in.
Pammy says, Debbie looks so tanned. Debbie, I hope you had a fantastic holiday. I enjoyed the pictures.
Oh, thank you so much, Pam.
Deborah Spencer says, hi Debbie, welcome back. Thank you for sharing your vacation pics. Al, hello Al.
Hello, Al.
Says, hi Ben, has Debbie mentioned her holiday yet? No, she hasn't even spoken about it. Has she been away? She's literally not mentioned it at all. You know.
They wish I hadn't mentioned it.
but it's, you know what, it's difficult because when I came back for holiday, obviously everyone asks about your holiday. So you told me about your holiday, and I was obviously interested to learn about what you did. But then since then, you've obviously spoken to lots of other people. And I found that I've been in earshot every time you've spoken to other people. So then I've heard about it. Yeah, I've heard about it a lot. But you had a great time, didn't you?
Heard.
And I got the bracelet as well. Thank you. Thank you for that, Debbie and Al. It was a lovely time you had, wasn't it?
Just amazing. Yeah, really amazing. And thank you everyone for following me on that journey. It's not something that I've done before with work. And I just loved it. It was really nice being able to do not what was just work. And feel like that you've got this amazing group of friends on social media. So that's how you get your sort of first bud, and then all you're going to do with the rest is exactly the same, but you don't need to fiddle. So that's the most fiddliest part, is getting your little bud piece in the centre there, and then you're just going to start to build them round. So I think what I've done is use one of the bigger ones for that centre, where I should have used a smaller one, but I'm not too worried. I just want you to get the sort of gist of how we do them. So I'm just going to go in and we're going to give this one some shaping.
Pammy says you can still use these for foam too, right? Absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely. You'll get different shapes every time with foam as well, which is nice, but you can still build them up the same way. Foam will shrink because it sort of moulds in together.
Yeah.
You'd probably get a beautiful bud by using your foam in the middle. So what we are going to do is start by putting these in.
Why are you using a glue gun?
It's because it does it quickly.
Okay.
Yes, that's mainly the reason. I want to actually, because I've used that bigger one, I don't want it to be so big. So I am going to pinch this at the end and fold it over. And it won't harm that at all, but it means that I can pop that in there. Yeah, a hot glue gun dries quite quickly and sticks quickly. So if I was using a glue gel, it wouldn't be as effective.
Okay.
And then all I'm going to do is put a little glob, a globule.
Globule.
A glob, I said, and I meant to say globule.
A glob?
I said glob, didn't I, instead of finishing globule. So it just, glob didn't sound like a very nice word.
You keep saying it though.
I said it, yeah. I said it again as well.
Good.
And then we're going to, so we've put that little globule of glue on. And as you just push them in, you can see that starts all taking shape there. So once you've got that first piece.
That mat you're working on as well, Alexia's asking about, so that's our stamping mat, isn't it?
Yes. It's a great mat to work off of. Not only can you shape all your different flowers, because it's got a real hardness to it, but also that denseness that where you can push into it, and it takes all your mediums as well. So even your glue, like when glue goes on it, it will just rub away.
Yeah. So
you won't harm unless you put in glue directly onto it, which I haven't done.
Yeah.
I wouldn't recommend that, because you might then sort of. I'm trying to think of, it might burn it, that's all I can think of. So
we have got that on the show, so you get the 6x6 stamping platform and the mat. We'll flash it up at the bottom of the screen for you right now. There you go.
As if by magic. That was very good, that was.
Thank you.
Well, thank you, George.
No, but I did that. And watch it.
Don't take all the credit.
Just as quickly as it appearing, I can go, it will disappear now. Oh, I thought you were going to stitch me up then, George.
I thought he was going to stitch you up.
That's what I would have done if it was the other way around.
Right, so now we've got that one, I can then just start to build these up. So I'm going to go in now with our bigger ones. So let's pop these on.
This is such a clever way to use your copier paper.
Yeah, and it makes a beautiful flower.
Yeah.
And what's nice about this is the reason I use copier paper, because it's thin, it scrunches really well. If you wet it, now you have to be really careful when you wet it, because if too much wetness will just tear it apart. So what I would say is wet it, put either your watercolours or whatever you want to put on there, and then what you want to do is sort of almost screw them up. And then unfold them, and then let them dry, and then they're all really crimpled and they look amazing, but you do have to be quite gentle with them. So let's just do this last one, and this will make our beautiful flower. There we go. And then I'm just going to put the little ball tool in the circle in the centre. By turning your ball tool round to the smaller one, that will create that sort of cradle, and then we can just start popping them into place. In fact, I can move my mat out the way now, so don't put any more glue on there. I get told off enough for putting glue on the stamping platform.
Oh dear. Who tells you off?
Everybody.
Oh dear.
Jan mostly. Debbie thinks it's a good idea, but she doesn't say she does it because she doesn't want to be blamed. But it works, Ben. Do you know when you find something that just works?
Do you know, that is your saying, and we thought about you the other night. It was on the warehouse. It was on the warehouse clearance, actually, the US warehouse clearance, and we had the scissors on, which we've got on again tonight with Debbie and Craig, and I was asking for testimonials and saying, oh, why do you love our scissors so much? And I can't remember who it was, but someone just messaged, I like the scissors because they just work. And in brackets, Debbie Fisher, and it made me laugh. I'll never forget that. Why do you like the scissors so much? Well, they just work. Brilliant, thanks, Debbie.
And actually, it's not like me. I'm normally full of adjectives, aren't I?
So great. Why do you like? Oh, they just work. Good news.
Look at that. I mean, how beautiful is that?
Yeah, yeah.
So lovely. You've got all those different layers and it looks incredible.
Looks so real again.
I know, it looks really real. I mean, how
real.
beautiful is that? I mean, imagine making you can keep adding layers. When you get to the point where your layers don't notice, what you can do is take them off individually and stick them to the outside, and that will make a bigger one. And then you can think you have your corsage, can't you, sort of on your hand, which would be really beautiful.
Yeah.
Absolutely, yes. Right, then the next thing we want to do, I'm just going to bring in our ink daubers, and I'm going to add a little bit of ink to the edges. So let's bring in the straw brown. I'm just going to add a little bit of yellow, and we're going to pop that just on those edges.
Evelyn says, I still don't understand why these flowers are called decoupage flowers. That's just the name for it, isn't it?
Well,
when you're...
decoupage is because you layer up things.
Yeah.
They layer on top of each other, which is what decoupage is. It's just layerable elements, basically.
So whenever you're layering things up, that is decoupage.
That is decoupage,
and that's the fact that you've got the stamps and the dies here to be able to cut the different layers. So it's decoupage flowers, you're layering them up.
Yes, absolutely.
But good question. And thank you, Alexia, who says, Ben, you ask great questions. I'm busy taking notes. Thank you. To be fair, most of the questions I ask are the ones that you're asking. So it's you guys that are asking the great questions. I just verbalise them for my partner in crime over there.
That's very true.
I've got the easy job, to be honest with you. I sometimes do ask a good question. Sometimes I come up with a good idea as well.
You do. I think you have good ideas.
Thank you. Not often, but when I do come up with them, stratospheric.
I agree.
Next level.
I agree.
Yeah.
I think when you work in the industry enough, it's good to be able to think of good questions to ask. Because your job really is to think for our amazing viewers. And there's a lot of people out there that don't like to ask questions.
No, I get that.
Because they feel silly. And actually, honestly, we have the best community. Never, ever feel silly for any question. If anyone is the queen of silly questions, it is absolutely me. I'm always asking silly things.
But there's no silly questions, because it's like we always say, I always try and... I kind of ask questions that I didn't know the answer to, if you know what I mean. Like back when I started, I didn't know what a die was. I didn't know what decoupage was, so I had to ask the questions to find out. And I think we have so many new people watching all the time. It's fine to come in and not know those answers. So you know, if you are thinking, oh well, what is decoupage? What is a dye? What are all these different terms you're using? Just ask the questions. We try and cover it as much as we can, I think, a lot of the time. But don't be afraid to ask the question. And if we don't pick up your question, the great thing is we've got such a great community here at Crafters TV, Crafters Companion. If we miss the question on the live show, one of our guys will answer it for you, for definite, because they're all really cool like that. Right, where are we up to?
And we are a little bit strange here because we actually like being put on the spot. I've never known a job where I've liked being put on the spot, but I actually quite like people asking questions because I always think, even if we don't know it, we'll definitely find out for you. So I've just used one of my nesting dies to create a circular card, which I'm going to do into an easel. So then I've just cut that across the top so you can see we've got a fold in it. Then just folded halfway through to create that easel part. I've then cut another one again, but this time I've cut the edges off so they fit neatly into the base there. So when it folds, I'm not going to get a sort of hangover. Well, not through drinking. I've had a few hangovers on my holiday, that's probably for sure.
Were you doing that naughty thing on holiday where you just didn't worry what time of day it was and you just had a drink it?
Absolutely. And I actually, on the way out there, we had a really early flight. It was 7:15, I think, our flight in the morning.
Yeah.
And when we set off and they brought the drinks trolley round, the lady next to me, she ordered a gin.
At 7 in the morning?
Yeah, 7:30 it was. And I was thinking, oh my goodness, that's really early, isn't it?
As Jimmy Buffett said, it's 5 o'clock somewhere.
But what I actually then thought was, it probably, when you're going, you don't realise that someone might be quite scared of the planes.
Yeah.
So that might have been just because she didn't have another one after that. So I think it must have been just to sort of calm her nerves, yes. And then on the way back, I then got talking to a woman who was a crafter, which was really funny. And
did she recognise you?
She didn't recognise me, no, but she did. She did a Mel Heat, and she bought a scan and cut.
Ah, okay.
So yeah, which was quite funny. I thought, oh, how about that? And it was really, I tell you what, it was really funny. She went to her husband, oh my goodness, this lady's on the telly. She's on that programme. But she said Create and Craft, because she obviously watches Create and Craft. And her husband just went, oh, right.
He was really impressed then.
Yeah, I can imagine most husbands sitting there just going, oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. You're the reason I've got such a big credit card bill. Yeah, you're the reason I can never watch my TV. Brilliant.
But she then kept asking me questions, and I was like, I don't know, I don't have a scan and cut.
Oh dear.
So yeah, that was quite funny.
Yeah. So my mum and sister have just gone on holiday because they always go on holiday together, and yeah, they always have like a glass of prosecco at breakfast or something like that. I'm like, what are you like? Seriously. But I suppose if you're on holiday, have a bit of fun. Yeah,
absolutely. Yeah, so although I didn't drink that early in the morning, I was drunk earlier than I probably ever would have done.
Yeah.
So,
but at least you have a nice four-poster bed to relax on.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, can you believe that? I've never been to a place where they have some beds that are four-poster beds.
Did you have to book them?
Well, it was a bit of a sore subject with lots of people because obviously we're quite early birds, so we get up in the morning.
Oh, you put your towels down, did you?
Everybody reserved them. Everybody. Yeah, because otherwise you didn't get one. So, yeah, whoever woke up first would go and put our towels on there.
What time did you get up? 2 a.m. Look at you laugh.
I did think one night when we were up really late, should we just go and put our towels on there?
Stay up till
and
3.
We would have done if it wasn't for someone being there cleaning the pool, because we thought that might have been a bit too early.
Everyone does it. It was in our hotel when we were on holiday. There was a message going like, oh, there's enough sunbeds for everyone. The hotel management politely requests that you don't put your towels down. And we didn't for the first few days, but then we'd like get out onto our balcony at 8 in the morning and there's no sunbeds. So we joined
Yeah,
we joined the fight.
yeah, unfortunately, you know, snooze, you lose.
Yeah, literally.
Right, so we've done this. I've done myself a on your birthday. I've got it wrote down somewhere, but I think it's from one of the new stamp sets we had out in the boxes. So we're going to pop this onto here. So let's start putting everything into place. So I'm going to use my roses for the front of our card. So I'm going to pop that into place. So I would recommend, if you're putting a sentiment on, or you want like a frame, or you want your, and I'm going to just stand this up so I know I've got that straight. That's it, just like that. What I would recommend is that you position all your other things before you put your flowers on, because your flowers take up quite a big part of your card. And we're just going to start putting these onto the front.
And just to recap again, because we've obviously had questions about whether you can use these with your phone, which you can. I mean, whatever you can normally cut with a normal die, you can make your flowers out of, right? Pretty much, with these dies?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, no problem at all. I would switch now to my, I have got some gel, so I am going to switch to that. The reason being, there we go. The reason being is this is more movable now. So I'm switching to this gel. Because my flowers are made, I'm not going to worry about that I've squashed them at all. But by being able to put your glue gel on here, so I'm going to sort of pop that here.
Buy two, get one free on the
that's good.
chunky glue today.
Chunky glue. We're going to pop that around here.
Yes, but make sure you search 3D. Don't search chunky glue because you won't find it. Debbie stopped calling it chunky glue now.
Oh, has she?
Yeah, I was very disappointed because I like the way she says it.
Why is she? I still call it chunky glue.
Well, because she says that obviously if you because she was worried that because she calls it chunky glue, people then go on the website and they search for chunky glue and then they won't be able to find it because it's not called that, is it? It's called 3D.
3D glue gel, yeah.
Glue gel, so that's why she stopped calling it that. Very disappointing, but yeah. I think a lot of you call it chunky glue now, don't you? But you know it's obviously the 3D glue gel.
Absolutely.
So it's fine.
All right, so pop some here. But look how beautiful that is starting to look.
Yeah, stunning. Lorraine's glad you're back, saying, hearing that laugh, I know that Debbie is back. Mary, she does have the most contagious laugh ever.
I do get people saying, like, Debbie, we don't even know what you're laughing at, but it's just because you're so funny. So I don't know if that's a compliment or not.
No, it is. It is.
And all I'm going to do is I'm going to put a bow at the bottom there to finish that off and turn that round. And there we go. And actually, when you look at that card, it may have took us a little bit longer to do, but so easy when you put all those layers in, and that's without any stamping. That's just about die cutting and making the most beautiful flowers that go on the front of your card.
Beautiful. This demo is making me want to sit and make flowers all day, says Mary Reno. I mean, there could be worse things to do, couldn't there, really?
Well, I think that's, apart from laying on a sunbed all day, that's the next perfect day, is to sit and make flowers all day.
Yeah. I mean, maybe sit and make flowers on a sunbed, which is actually a 4-poster bed sunbed, whilst drinking something nice. Sherry Debbie says, great to have these in different colours for all seasons to keep the home looking cheery. Long seasons without flowers in Illinois. Yeah, and that again is it, isn't it? If you want to use these as decorative elements for your home, why not? And the great thing about these, of course, is these flowers you don't really have to look after. Once you've made them, you know, pop them somewhere in your home, you don't have to keep watering them. I just want to show you some decoupage. I want to show you some vellum. Before the decoupage, because as we've heard, you know, you can use lots of different mediums. I was going to show you the Caring Thoughts, but don't scream and shout. That has now
sold out.
Yes, Debbie's back. It's gone, disappeared. Oh, there it is, gone. Scream and shout, gone, sold out, boom. We do still have though on the shoe your Country Lane vellums. This is not sold out, correct? 24 sheets you're going to get here. 8x8, of course. 6 designs, 4 sheets of each, and it's absolutely beautiful. Lots of different designs you're going to get in here, lots of different colours. And once again, you know, if you want to start making your flowers out of these, go ahead, you can do that. But it's always nice to have lots of vellum within your crafty stash, because it's so super usable. You know, emboss onto it as well should you wish, but lots of beautiful designs and colours within that set. That is $9.35 or $12.20 if you're a platinum member. And then you've also got the vintage butterflies. I won't take that lot out of the packet because that last effort was quite unsuccessful, wasn't it? It just did go everywhere. Thank you, Erin. Don't rub it in. 8 by 8. Those are all your designs that you're going to get. 6 designs, 4 sheets of each. Once again, with a 10% saving, less another 20 if you're platinum. That is $9.35 or $10.76. Lillian Kwok, is that actually true? Lillian says, actually, if you do search chunky glue, the Collal 3D is the first hit. Please, can you check that? We're just checking it in the gallery. It is! Lillian, that is amazing. If you see Debbie before I do, tell her to start calling it chunky glue again. It's all good. Lillian, thank you for that piece of information. That has made me smile. And another quick question from Lillian, who says, what is the difference? Oh, so you asked this yesterday, we missed it apparently. What is the difference between red liner tape and ultra clear tape? Ultra clear tape.
Ultra clear tape. I don't really know what you mean by ultra clear tape. So it's obviously a different brand that's out there. What I would say for it, and I don't know because I don't know what ultra clear tape is, I wouldn't have thought it was as strong. It's probably a bit like finger lifting tape.
Yeah.
I think.
Oh.
Oh.
Oh, it is on the website.
So ultra clear might just not be our brand.
Right.
It might be that. If it's both on the website, looks the same, one's red liner tape, one's ultra clear, I would have thought...
Oh. Do you know what?
We're going to find that out.
We're going to have a look for you. I might have a look on here myself, actually, just whilst Debbie was demoing. What did you say it was called? Ultra clear tape. Hang on a minute. I mean, this is exciting viewing, isn't it? Wait there. 1 second, please, caller.
About our own website.
Oh no, that looks like red liner tape. I think that's just misnamed.
I think we possibly just named it that.
I'm coming over. I'm coming over. Coming over, Debbie.
Come and show me. Come and show me.
That's red liner tape, surely.
It is red liner tape.
Yeah.
So Craft Ultra Clear Tape Kit. I think it's just they've named it that because it's a kit, not just the tape. That is definitely red liner. So the answer to your question is it's exactly the same.
There we go. Well, I'm glad we sorted that out. And again, have we not learned something over the last couple of minutes there with ultra clear tape and chunky glue? Pammy just says, I love this Crafter's Companion printed vellum. So wonderful to work with. We've only got 23 minutes to go on the first part of our launch day before the lovely Gwen is here from Creative Expressions. So, have you got another demo we can squeeze in?
Absolutely, yes. Let's get this one in because I wanted to then go for something. We've gone from sort of one stream to the other. I wanted to show you how easy it is to put some of the other ones together. And I know that a lot of people in the past have struggled with flowers like fuchsias, and to get that 3D-ness is sometimes a little bit tricky. I have to tell you, these are so easy to make up. No problem whatsoever. And I'm going to show you just how easy they are. So the first thing we're going to do, we're going to just go in with our ink. I'm using, which one am I using? The Noir Black, and I'm using the waterproof dye. I don't need to, but I do want to, am I using it? No, I do. I'm using the wrong one.
Are you right over there?
Yeah, I'm using the wrong one. So what I am going to do is I'm going to continue to do these, but I need to switch my ink pad out. But I'm also going to use the ones that I've already stamped. Only because I'm going to use these ones with ink pads. And my other ones, I want to colour them with our alcohol pens.
Right.
So if you use the wrong ink, what will happen? So if I'd continued with the water-based one, what would have happened is when I go to then apply my alcohol inks, they would run. It would just smudge.
Yeah.
So all I'm doing here is I'm just tapping my fingers around, doing a little dance, just to get those all printed out. And can you see we've got that little bit here and one bit here. Yeah. She stopped me. She's very good. Get down tonight. Get down tonight. Do a little dance.
Make a little love.
Have a little party.
Get down tonight. Bum, bum. Get down tonight.
Do a little crafting. Right, so there we go. And then we're going to colour them in. So I'm going to bring in my tri-blends. I'm also going to grab myself a piece of card just to colour on top of. So grab that one.
Where's that bit on the top right-hand corner that you stamped out? Oh, it's like the
This one?
It's
The stamen.
Huh?
Is that what you mean? The stamen?
Yeah, the stamen.
Stamen.
Gallery. Oh dear, they go. Oh, it looks like an alien hand. It's definitely. It does maybe a little
But when
bit.
you look at these, you wouldn't think this would create a fuchsia, would you?
No, you would not.
No, not
No.
at all. Right, so what we are going to do, I want to colour my cut piece, which is this one here. I'm just going to colour that round with our pink. So this is the magenta, I think. Yep, magenta blend. So colouring that round. So it doesn't take long to colour them in. And then I'm just going to, and I'm not even worried too much about, I'm just doing a block colour.
Yeah.
I'm not going to worry. You can, if you want to, you can colour them a bit more. And then I want to use a, is this more my purpley one? No, that's more the pink one. I thought I had a purple with me and I've not. Let me just grab a purple one because it's that one we'll do, the lavender one. And let's just, that's a bit dark, let's do the light lavender. And then the top one. So, because obviously, and what I would say is when you're making the fuchsias, just see what colour you want to do them.
Yeah.
Traditionally, they sort of, you can get sort of the same colour family, where you get sort of a dark pink and light pinks, don't you? But I think more traditionally, you get sort of the lilacs and the pink ones, which is what we're going to do here.
Do you have lots of different colours of fuchsias then, do you?
Yeah, loads. Like all different names as well. So many different fuchsia colours.
You're doing it in the colours that I sort of... Oh yeah, you do as well.
Did you not know that?
Whoa! There's like light blue fuchsias here.
Oh yeah, loads,
Pretty.
different ones, yeah. When you go round, like if you want to grow them, always check and see what they are. Now with this one, what I am going to do, where's... I'm going to show you the die here. The die here, can you see it does cut those pieces out on the top?
Yeah.
So don't worry about going over. In fact, if you wanted to go over, it's probably best just to colour the whole thing because then it will just show that. And then what I'm also going to do is colour the back of that one. So just turn it over, I can see where that's gone through and then just colour over the back. So if you're using any colouring mediums, or your alcohol pens, you just need to colour both sides of that one because this one, when you cut it, you're going to turn that round to create the stamens. And then we're just going to do our green. So let's just do a leaf. Put that on there. And actually, I am going to, have I got, oh, I have got some leaves. I didn't think I had enough to put on, but I'm just going to do one. So we've coloured everything you need them to colour. Are we doing all right for time, Ben?
You got about 15 minutes.
Oh, loads of time.
That's all right, isn't it?
That's all
Look at me
right.
giving direction from the floor. Yeah, you can have another 15 minutes, Debbie, and then we'll be moving on.
Right, so let's cut these out. So let's grab our dies. They're right in front of me. And pop these over. So there we go.
It's a good job. I was here for you as well because Erin apparently was trying to tell us, but she switched off her microphone, so she couldn't. She was telling us, but we couldn't hear her. Yeah, 15 minutes. Creative Touches on YouTube says, "Hi Ben, could you please recap and let me know what marker Debbie was using? What colour markers were you using?"
Yeah, absolutely. I was using them. Oh, let's move that. I turned around and said magenta. So the magenta blend tri blend.
Yeah. Magenta.
Just get that.
Magenta blend, tri-blend.
So magenta, bright pink blend.
Bright pink blend.
And was it lavender? I can't find it now. Where is it? Oh, there it is.
Yeah, lavender.
Lavender. Yeah, lavender blend.
Yeah, lavender blend.
Lavender.
And then the green was?
Lavender, bright pink.
Bright pink.
And light green.
And light green.
Yes, it was those three colours.
Those three. Thank you.
We got there eventually. What else have we got to do?
Why have I never done that before?
Right. And I love these because it's not hard to find where they sort of slot in around. And also, can you see, you can slightly see a line going around the edge, so you're always going to cut them perfectly. Just another piece of tape to hold those two down. And like I say, if you don't want to do the colouring or the stamping part, you can absolutely just put them straight on to coloured cardstock. And they would work just as well through those, and you'll get really good effect. I'd also say, Ben, just have a play with all the different flowers and the colours and pattern papers. We are going to do a carnation in a little while, probably in the 4 to 5 hour.
Oh, right.
Got that right?
Yeah.
Out of printed, I had a book, an old, really old book, and I'm going to cut them out of the pages.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and they look amazing. So I can't wait to show you that one. So yes, we've got our Gwen coming back in.
Is it you that says that you go to charity shops and buy old books?
Yeah,
to
buy
do
old
that?
books, yeah. You find a lot of the, this one was from one of the supermarkets. They have like a charity box, which were just books on
Down
the
there?
side. Well, they probably do. They do them everywhere, most places. I haven't got one from here. But
And you
yeah.
can just pick up the books as you go
Yeah,
out?
you just pick up the books. And apologies to anyone that thinks I destroy books, but they're quite tatty and old. And I just think if you can bring them into your crafting and make something new, I'm not throwing them away or anything. And I was trying very hard to make sure there was no rude words on the page.
Oh, yeah, can you imagine?
Because you do have to be quite careful, or maybe not so careful if you want the recipient to read some of the words on your flowers. So who knows?
They look gorgeous though, don't they? Flowers with the words on.
Yeah, they do look amazing, yeah. Right, so we've got all our pieces here. I'm also just going to make sure that we have a little bit more depth to them. So I'm going to bring in some purple, and I'm going to use this one's the plum pudding, but I did use crushed velvet, and I'm just going to go around the edges on these. So even though we've added that beautiful alcohol pen, it's really nice just to add some depth to your flowers as well. So what you can see, it just it brings it to life a little bit more. So that's that first one, and then we've got a pink one. So let's just do the edges in fuchsia. So again, just tapping around the edges. And this is just being creative. It's just because you could add your ink to the whole card if you wanted to, but it's nice just to get that definition of different colours going through. And then we're just going to do the same with our green. I'm just going to add some pine tree around the edges of that one.
Suzette Sue says, this feels like I'm watching a variety show. So much entertainment. I love it. That's what we're here for. We're here for the fun. We're here for the
always the
education,
fun. Always the
inspiration,
fun. Well,
entertainment.
my thing I always say with Crafters Companion event is the education.
Yeah.
Because I truly believe we're one of the best companies on the market for educating people.
I believe you, yeah.
Right, so now what we've got here, we've got two pieces. So you'd look at that and think, how do you create a fuchsia with those pieces?
Yeah.
So the first piece here, we want to create in half. So what I am going to do is bring in the stamping mat that we had earlier, bring in the small ball tool on here, and go into the centre. Just to give that, I'm not worrying about my actual design of my leaves, because what I want to do is create that cupped part that comes down, can you see?
Yeah.
So just doing it like so. So that's going to create the cupped part.
You're going to make a little sandwich, aren't you?
Yeah, absolutely. This one here then, we want to go in the opposite, the same direction, but what I want to do to start with, I want to glue the base bit here onto the base of here. So all I'm going to do, I'm going to use my hot glue gun. I'm going to put a little globule of glue onto there, just like so. And then we're going to just pop that circle to circle.
Yeah.
Just on the top, so you can see straight away we're changing the look of our flower. Look at that. Really beautiful.
Beautiful.
So, and then what we want to do, have I done that the right way? Let me just check.
I think...
No. I've done it the wrong way.
I was just looking at the board, yeah, and it looks good the other way around, doesn't it?
No, that's all right. I'll tell you why, because it was one that I would done a different way, and I'll show you in a second what I mean. Yes, so that just goes round. Yeah, so that just cups them like so. But then what I want to do is put the stamen in. So the stamens, we're going to take our pokey tool again, and we're just going to sort of turn this around. Now, sort of, you want to curl it first, because what that does is it breaks up the fibres in the card and makes it more pliable. So as you sort of wrap that around, it creates your stamens here. So just turning that round on itself like so. And then all you're going to do is we're going to, now this, be very careful if you're using the hot glue gun, because obviously when you put it together, you don't want to be burning your fingers. So I'm putting just a tiny little bit down there, and I'm blowing on it a little bit because I don't want that to burn me. And then I'm using my pokey tool just to curl that in. And then once you know that that's a bit more cooler, you can go in. So please don't put that on and then go in with your fingers and burn yourself. Poor Debbie burnt herself last week with the glue gun.
Did she?
And it's not nice, yes.
What, here?
No, on Hobby Maker. So there we go. So we've got all our little stamens, and then they're all curled in, which is going to go right into the front here. Now, I think that for me, that's just, you can have them long. I've kept some long, but if you wanted to make them a bit shorter, just cut the end there. Then we're going to pop a piece of our glue just inside, like so. And then pop that right into that centre. So just let that dry, and that'll dry quite quickly, and that gives us our flower. Look at that.
Yeah.
I mean, really beautiful. Just bring that down like so. Now, the reason I thought I'd done it wrong, if I bring in my other one here, I've done it the opposite way. So I put the petals going up, so you can see it's white on that top, because a lot of the petals hang down like so, but we wanted some to be sticking out. So the way I wanted to do it on my card is a little bit different. So let's pop these to the side, and then we're going to bring in our card. So pop this down. So I've created a side stepper card. The card itself is a 5.5 by 8.25 inch, and literally when you're making these cards, it is just a case of when you fold them, you just create your side panel that steps down. You'll find lots of instructions for your side stepper cards, and then I've just got my panels to decorate the front. So we will pop that onto there. And then our side piece. And again, I'm keeping it quite simple. I've used one of the embossing folders that is my go-to at the moment, and I absolutely love it. And it's from Sharon Callis's Flower Garden.
Oh yeah.
It's the like geometric sort of shape.
Yes.
This is the perfect one for any backgrounds, and so great if you want to just have something quite simple and understated in the background to let your flowers really shine through. So we'll pop that into place.
Just to say, Lillian, as well, we have confirmed that the ultra, I can't remember what it's called now, the ultra clear tape, the ultra clear tape bundle is red liner tape. It's just named differently, and I think we're going to try and get that updated and get it changed. So it's exactly the same thing.
Thank you for letting us know it's there.
No, seriously, thank you very much. No one else has spotted that, Lillian. So yes, thank you very much indeed. We will try and get that changed so nobody else gets confused. And Lillian also says, I used to love popping the fuchsias in my mum's garden when I was little.
Oh,
you can pop the buds, can't you?
Yes, you can.
I don't know if that's good to do that to them though, is it? Probably not.
Well, I don't think they live much after that.
What, after you've popped them? Well, it's not good to do it then, is it?
No. Oh, my glue doesn't want to go through. Let's just...
Pammy says that's my favourite embossing folder right now as well, Debbie.
Oh, isn't it just gorgeous?
Yeah.
Yeah, sometimes you just think, right, switch up, do a different one, but you just end up going back to the ones you like, don't you? So all we're going to do is pop our gems. I don't normally spend too much time putting gems on, but I do think because we've got quite an understated card, they're nice just to decorate the front with. So let's pop them on. And then again, just printed out a really nice sentiment, which we will pop onto the front. Just like so. So that decorates the front. And then I've got a bow, so I'm going to put my bow on first. Now normally I do it afterwards, but I want this to sort of show where we're going to put our flowers.
Okay.
So by putting that onto there, I'm going to make sure that my glue stick is gone through that hole, yep. And then we're going to put our leaves on. So first of all, let me just use our pokey tool, And I'm going to just curl our leaves over.
Connie says the layering of these decoupage pieces is marvellous. The stem are once again slender and not easily led into bulk when put together. Yes, I love when I can get dimension without the weight.
Absolutely.
Eve B's joined us saying I've got the dog walk, coffee in hand, ready to shop and learn. And Connie also saying I would like to see how Debbie's nail colour will get enhanced if she also edges her nails with the ink.
Edges them in what?
Edges them with ink, because you were edging the
with
flowers.
ink, yeah.
There's been some impressive nails on show, haven't there, this week on Crafters TV.
Oh, who's have good nails, Debbie?
Oh, Sharon, yesterday from Dawn Bibby, she had Jubilee ones.
Oh.
And on one nail, it was one nail in each hand. Well, no, she had 5 nails on each hand, but on one nail on each hand, she had a Union Jack.
Oh, how amazing.
Yeah, very clever.
I was very tempted to have a different colour on each fingernail, like for summer, like all pastel colours.
Well, do it.
Yeah, I then just thought, I don't know.
I just marvel at like how many people get their nails. No, I was just about to go on to that. I would marvel at how, because I thought if you get your nails done, it lasts like months, but it doesn't, does it? It's like, how often do you have to go back? Every couple of weeks?
I normally wait about 3 weeks.
Yeah.
Yeah, so a lot of people do those 2 weeks. The growth of mine, it just depends how much you want to notice the bottoms that are growing. So you can see it's growing. It's probably about 2 millimetre coming up now that you can see my nail. But I don't think they're that noticeable. So I think, well, why get them done all that often?
I might get mine done. Always fancied some like fancy nails. Union Jack ones.
I think Joe's had his nails done before.
What, painted?
Yeah. Yeah.
Well,
I think
it's good enough for
especially when
Joe.
he's been like to the Eurovision and that, I think he used to get his nails painted.
Yeah.
So let's just pop those in there, and then we're just going to add some more leaves.
Oh, Margaret's just asking, whilst just watching this, saying, looking lovely, Debbie. You're right, you do get the best education from Crafter's Companion. Did you use copy paper for the fuchsia, or was that just for the...
No, this is just our normal. Unfortunately, it's out of stock, our multi-purpose, but I'm sure we will have it in soon. So this is just about is popping these into here and just adding those leaves where you want them. I think we're just going to pop, yeah, that is that one. Pop that at the side. We're going to have some just under there. And it just holds them all in place. And I do love using the hot glue gun because it really does make quite quick work out of it. And there we go. So if I turn that round, there you go. Look at that.
Look at, just tip it up as well so you can see the...
Yeah, if I turn it, look at that. I mean, there's real definition in that, isn't there? I mean, where can you find flowers that you can make so realistic like that? Yeah, absolutely love that one.
That could be the winner, couldn't it? Could be the demo of the show right there. There's big competition coming up though, because Gwen is here from Creative Expressions, who we're going to see in just a few moments' time. But we'll get the vote going a lot later on. For now, let me just recap on the Decoupage Flower Stamp and Dies collection, launched, officially 58 minutes ago. You're getting 26 dies, 26 stamps to be able to create the most gorgeous cards. If you've ever wanted to try decoupage, this is a great set to go for. If you love your flowers as well, which I think we all do, then you're definitely going to want to get this set. Some beautiful stamps, absolutely primed and ready for you to get colouring with. And then, of course, you've got all of the corresponding dies to be able to cut these out and then to get creating, whether it be that gorgeous radiant rose, whether you're going to be creating with the lovely lilac, or maybe indeed you're going to use the beautiful delicate lily. These are phenomenal. You can pick all of them up today for that price on the screen, $55.99, $63.94. That's the platinum price. If you want to go individually, you can, and we've got them on a two for £26 or 2 for $30. Nicole just saying, I love how the craft experts demo their own unique styles. The outcomes appeal to us viewers who also have unique styles. And Kathy C says, stunning card, Debbie. Love the colours. Debbie will be back with us in about an hour's time to wrap up launch day. In just a few moments' time, we're going to be joined by the lovely Gwen from Creative Expressions. Some amazing goodies from her, which we will see after this short break.
Quick Buy, all your crafting must-haves in a flash. draw, decorate, and customize your world with the colorful Spectrum Noir acrylic paint markers. Each premium paint marker gives opaque coverage on ceramic, glass, wood, and let's not forget paper, cardstock, and canvas. These versatile markers are filled with highly pigmented premium water-based paint, offering beautiful, rich, and smooth coverage. The colors can be blended together, and the fast-drying opaque paint is ideal for layering. A 3mm bullet tip offers smooth strokes, and a precision valve mechanism allows rich and consistent flow with no clogging. Quick buy, all your crafting must-haves in a flash.
We've had to make some changes to our shipping charges and we want to keep you informed. With continued pressure on domestic shipments around mainland US, we've had to temporarily increase the cost of our regular 6 to 10 working day standard shipping service from $9.99 to $12.95 and our free shipping threshold from $100 to $125. We also have some really great news to tell you. We've introduced a brand new shipping service called Express Delivery. This is a fully tracked door-to-door service which takes 3 to 7 working days and costs $19.95. This option means you'll get your crafty goodies in your hands sooner, meaning less waiting and more crafting. We're also upgrading delivery services for our Gold and Platinum Club Inspire members who will now receive priority delivery on all of their orders. And if that wasn't enough, we've upgraded these orders to our new Express 3 to 7 day service. Your patience and understanding throughout this very busy time has been amazing. So we'd just like to say a huge thank you, and we look forward to chatting to you again very soon. Well, hello and welcome back to Crafters TV. Second hour of our 3-hour extravaganza. 3 hours coming up for you later on as well. Don't forget, from 6 o'clock this evening, 1 o'clock Eastern, we'll have another hour with Gwen from Creative Expressions. And then the continuation of our US warehouse clearance from Monday with Craig and Debbie. That show, of course, you'll be able to watch it here in the UK, but you can only shop if you're in the US. But we're very much looking forward to that a little bit later on. And as I've said, for our UK viewers, do not worry, because there will be more UK warehouse clearance shows coming your way very, very soon. This hour, though, as I said, is all about Creative Expressions. You guys loved the earlier show, and I'm really, really delighted that the lovely Gwen is back. And you've got plenty of great demonstrations up your sleeve for this hour, Gwen, haven't you?
I have, yes. We're focusing this afternoon on our fabulous Pixie Bursts.
Yes.
So these are a new product. You might have already come across our Pixie Powders, and you might certainly have seen Jamie Rogers' Pixie Sparkles, but this is neither of those. Ooh. This is Pixie Bursts.
Okay.
So it's a dry, matte dye powder.
Yeah.
No sparkle. Very unusual for us. No sparkle, matte colour, very, very, very intense. I love that, because if you've got something very intense, you can tone it down and make it paler. But if you've got something very pale, you can't make it stronger. So very versatile. You can use them as they are. I'll show you how. I'll show you the panel dry that I did earlier. And then there are lots of other interesting things you can do with them.
All right, we will be looking at those and reminding you of all of the different colours in just a few moments' time. I just want to very quickly, though, update you really quickly, because we do want to get on the mixed media embossing powders. So these in these beautiful 4 different colours, plus getting with it your Emboss It dabber. We're half the stock gone on these. I think we did the little preview earlier on, so you got to see just how gorgeous those embossing powders were, and just how very different they were compared to maybe embossing powders that you've used before. And lots of people have snapped these up in between the shows. So you've got those 4 different colours available for you, plus the dabber as well. However, go quickly if you've seen these and they've caught your eye. Get them now, because half of the stock has already disappeared. I cannot guarantee that they will be here later on in Gwen's last hour. £16.55 or $23.76 is your platinum price if you want to grab those. Now, as Gwen has said, we're going to concentrate on the Pixie Bursts mainly during this show. So we're going to show you both of the options. First of all, let's have a look at your Essentials essentials. So again, you've got these 4 little bottles, and again, Gwen will show you how to use these, how very little that you need to use to create the most stunning designs, stunning backgrounds. You've got your very berry here. Look at that cut grass. And the great thing again about this is if you love getting messy, if you love having fun, if you love creating unique effects, then this is definitely a product that you want in your crafty stash. You're going to get the fire glow there as well, and then also take a look at making waves. You will certainly be making waves with this collection. £14.37 platinum, $21.60. So that is your essentials set. You might also want to pop into your basket the brights as well, which have also proved very, very popular. I think a lot of you as well are sort of hanging fire before you grab these because you want to see how easy they are to use. Just all the different effects that you can create. Look at that purple orchid. Beautiful. Rusty red, that was my favourite from this collection earlier on. It may well change when we get to see these demoed with Gwen in just a few moments' time. You've got your wild moss, and then also, ooh, look at that, green jasper. We literally touched on these in about the last 3 or 4 minutes on the earlier show, and we are at 20% of the stock gone on both the brights and the essentials as well. One item that you will also want to pop into your basket, which we will probably see over the course of this show and we'll talk more about later on, is the Easy Mist water bottle. Literally the best water bottle you will have ever seen in craft. And if you're saying to me, well, hang on a minute, how can a water bottle be better than any other water bottle? You will have to keep watching to find out. But trust me when I tell you, it really, really is. But let's get cracking. As always, we're still live and interactive. Rachel's on the socials, so if there's anything that you want to ask, anything that you want to know, anything you want to say maybe about Creative Expressions goodies that you've already got, then do let us know on the socials and we'll read out those comments and questions as we head through the show. But it's time to create some magic over the other side of the studio and potentially time to get a little bit messy, Gwen, do you think?
Oh yes, I like to get messy.
Yes.
I do like my inky things.
Oh yes.
My splatty things, and yeah, I love it. So I just want to show you quickly how these work, in case you weren't watching earlier. So I've got my Super Mister bottle, which I'll come back to in a sec, but for the time being, what I'm going to do is mist both sides of my card, because when you wet card on one side only, it curls up. And then if you're using a lot of water and inky things, it just runs off the side, and it's very frustrating. Yeah. So if you wet both sides, it won't do that, it'll stay flat. Mm-hmm. So I'm going to bring in the green jasper because I like it. I like them all, but I do like the green jasper. And I'm just going to tap it. Now look, when there's water already on the card, what happens? You get these amazing, sort of almost like fossil type spread.
Is it powder then coming out?
This is dry powder.
Right.
But in each bottle you've more than one colour. Yeah. So I don't know if we can get any closer, but we've got in here like a teal, a purple, a sky blue, an aqua.
Oh yeah, look, bottom right. Look at the colours.
Yeah, look, absolutely stunning, the range of colours in here. Yeah. So you can mist very gently and get this gorgeous kind of speckly effect. However, if you want to go more marbly, shall we say, we're going to use a lot more water, and that's when this bottle comes into its own. So this is a huge water receptacle. It is big. It has a very special coil pump system inside there, and what that does, it gives you a continuous flow of water. So once you've primed it by pumping it a couple of times, it just goes. So I'm going to do that now with this. So 1, 2, 3 little pumps.
Look at it, still going.
And then it's still going. Now look, you didn't think there was much powder on that piece of card. No. But look at that now.
That's amazing.
And look at the patterns that you get and the colours that are coming out. Whoa. So if you wet it a lot, you'll get a real intense, oh wow, look at that. Oh, I can see a dragon in there.
Do you know what? Producer Erin said that literally 30 seconds ago.
Yeah. Its wings are up here and its head's here. Oh, wow, cool. However, you might think, well, it's a bit dark though.
A little bit.
So, what you can do is pick up a little bit of that excess liquid. Oh, and now look at the difference. So we've got a much softer effect, and you can actually see all the different shades that come within that one. That's one of 10 colours that we're bringing you in.
Are you going to do more? Because I really enjoyed that.
I'm going to do more. However, I want to bring in a little bit of finesse now.
Oh, okay.
I'll just show you. Do you remember the one I did earlier with the very berry? Now it's dry.
Ooh.
Now that is stunning. You can say, well, all right, but what do I do with it? Well, it can be a background to a dye.
Yeah.
Or you can cut your dye from it.
Yeah.
But imagine flowers cut out of that. Those flowers that we've just seen being created by Debbie.
Gorgeous, wouldn't they?
You could cut those flowers out of something like that. They would be amazing. Absolutely gorgeous. So lots of applications for these powders. I'm a little bit in love with them, can you tell?
Well, absolutely I can. Are you specifically using watercolour card with these?
You don't have
It
to.
doesn't matter.
You don't have to, but you can, obviously, and they do work very well on watercolour card, and they sit nicely on the surface when you do that. As with any watercolour card, the trick with it is to wet it nicely so the water's kind of floating.
Yeah.
And then when you drop your powders in, they kind of burst.
Yeah. It's like watching like a crafty firework display, isn't it?
Yeah,
Like
that's a really good description.
Oh, thank you. The way that the colours all come to life. Add that water. Just a few comments coming through already. Eve B, we just literally answered your question, so that's amazing about the papers. Fascinating to watch, says Kathy C. I love the pixie powders, says Margaret Crook. They're fascinating, aren't they? And Eve also saying, okay, I do need these. Similar to alcohol ink backgrounds, only easier. And Charlotte Brewster said, I'll be picking up the extra ink with more blank cards as well, because these are amazing.
Yes, do a double whammy and block with a piece of card, absolutely, yeah. So I'm going to stamp and emboss a stamp. Now I'm not focusing on what the stamp is, it's a dragonfly, but we just decided it's about the powders this. So I brought you a lovely dragonfly stamp, but you will have, I'm sure, dragonflies, butterflies, flowers in your stash.
Yeah.
So I'm not focusing on what the actual stamp is. What I want to show you is what you can do with these powders. So let's just get my stamp in position. Got hair on it, that's not good. And then I'm going to stamp and emboss this with our white embossing powder, which we've brought for you today. It's a great staple of white embossing powder, and what's lovely about it is it resists when you have heated it, and then if you want to put wet ink, which is what these basically are, once they're wet, they're like a watercolour ink. The white embossing will resist, and you'll see that white colour, so it's really lovely to get that amazing contrast.
Is it a true white you're going to add here, is it?
It is the true white, and it's detail.
That is on the show.
So you will get really fine lines with this powder. So I'm going to make sure I press firmly all over this stamp.
Yep.
I'm using a clear, sticky embossing ink. That could be whatever you like to use.
True white's on your screen now. 20% of the stock has gone there. Very, very busy right now for all of them.
That embossing powder is one of my go-tos. I love as well white embossing powder on craft brown cardstock. There's just something about it that's just so beautiful and delicate. But this is going to be tricky for you to see, I appreciate, because it's white on white.
Yeah.
But there we have our image, and I now just need to heat that with my heat gun. So look, all that powder, you'd hardly know I'd been in it.
That's it. You know, for people who are new to seeing embossing powder, you might look at those tubs and go, well, 20 mils not a lot. It really is, because you use a really small amount.
And also, I think when they see us chuck it all on, they think, oh my goodness, the pot's empty.
Yeah.
But then
it all goes back in again.
It's all back in again. So it will last you a long, long time. I very rarely use up a pot of embossing powder, unless it's, I've got some 100ml pots, which are ace, they're big. Don't use them up very often.
What's that?
100ml pots.
Oh, no, no.
So you just need to focus your heat gun in one area, and you'll see this white, cloudy sort of powder turn into...
Oh, there we go. You can see it there, look.
A lovely, crisp, shiny gloss.
Yeah.
And once it's melted, you've then got a barrier. So it's great for colouring in if you're not perhaps steady, and you struggle to stay in the lines maybe. It's good for that, really good for that, because it gives you a little wall.
Yeah.
But the beauty of it when we're working with such wet techniques as this is that the wall will hold in the liquid to each little section. So there we have it, our lovely embossed stamp. And as I say, your stamp can be anything. It's not really about that. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to introduce you to a technique I've been playing around with.
Oh, okay.
Excuse me a sec, I need my water. So here I've got just a pot of water, and I'm going to use quite a large, it's a number 6 round-ended brush, if that means anything to anybody. And I'm going to introduce to my dragonfly's wings, I'm going to use one called Wild Moss.
Okay.
I love this one. Well, I love them all. I keep saying that, don't I?
No, this one's my favourite, then the next one, this one's my favourite.
I know.
They're all gorgeous.
And I'm going to use this little piece of scrap card to tap the powder onto. And that's because it gives me a much greater level of control. I want to just make sure I take the drips off the collar of my brush, and then I'm going to paint in the wings. Now this is watercolour card, so the water is going to sit really nicely on the top. You need to probably give it a couple of coats, because obviously the first amount of water that you put down will soak in a little bit.
Right.
So allow it to settle and then give it another coat. What you're looking for is the shine of the water sitting on the top.
Yes.
And that's going to give the movement that we're looking for. So then I'm going to bring in this piece of card and I'm going to tap. Can you see that?
Yes.
And what you get are tiny little speckles of colour. And in this moss, there is purple, yellow. Now that's enough. It doesn't look much, but wait till we come back. I'm just going to blow off. There are some dry speckles I need to get rid of.
Right.
And then I can come back and I'm going to do the second wing.
Oh, wow.
This is the top wing that I'm doing. This is going to continue travelling. So this is how you can get this level of precision. If I was just to sprinkle this on, A, it would be hit and miss where it landed, but B, it would be probably much too heavy, and it would end up, it would still be beautiful, but it would be more of one colour. So doing this method, we get to see all the gorgeous inclusions in that colour. Look
Is
at
anyone
that,
else
look at
keeping
that.
their eye, on the different colours that's changing?
I haven't done any more to that, it's just, it's developing. It's a bit like watching a negative
It is like the old-fashioned...
if anybody knows what a negative is these days.
I know what you mean.
Show me age. Look at that. There's some beautiful purple. There we go. Just take off any loose on there I don't need, and on here. And then I want to bring in the purple orchid. Can you see it?
This is like magic, Gwen.
Can you see it? Oh, look at the difference between the two. And I haven't gone back and touched this one. I've done nothing to it. You've been watching. So let's bring in our purple orchid. So I'm going to put this on the bottom wings now.
Do you know what's impressive as well is the amount of the pixie bursts that you don't use to create these effects.
Exactly, very, very little. Now you can see there, I've got a little bit of green coloration. That's just from stray speckles that were sitting. So it's still going to give you a colour. I could leave it at that and leave that wing beautifully pastel.
Yeah.
But I don't want to do that. So I'm going to bring in purple orchid. Another gorgeous, gorgeous colour.
Yep, that's in your brights.
And I'm just going to, tap that on and then stop and just blow off the dry. And then come back in and do the second wing on the other side. You can see there I've got quite a bit of blue that I've picked up from the earlier application, but that's fine. It all adds to it. It's not very much, and if I was bothered, I could blot it off and start again, but I'm not bothered. Bothered? Not bothered.
Not bothered. Bothered. Face bothered.
I love this because it is still a bit random, but it's so exciting watching it develop. Well, I think it is.
Mark just says, I enjoy Gwen's messy crafting. She reminds me a little bit of Jan.
Thank you, that's a compliment.
It is. And Mary, I don't know what, Mary says this has a batik look to it on the leaves.
Batik, yes.
Batik.
Yes, well, batik is a wax resist that people use traditionally on fabric.
Okay, I've never heard of that before.
Yeah, so you could certainly do this on fabric. It wouldn't be washable because they're water-based products, but have a go.
Yeah.
You know, there may well be, I know there are mediums which will help you make things on fabric permanent, sort of like a finishing liquid. I don't know if that might work, but I'd give it a go. Yeah, why not? So I'm going to just paint in the body now as well by doing the same thing, just tapping on a few speckles, not much at all, of that dry powder. And look at that.
This is incredible.
Let me blow that off. And if we can get a real good close-up on that.
Get in there, George. Come on.
You can
Zoom
do it.
on in, son. Look at this.
So you can see this one's still developing.
Goodness.
This one's reached its limits, and how gorgeous is that? It looks like stained glass.
It
but
does.
there's
Pammy just said that on the comments.
nothing difficult about that at all, other than just trying to keep it contained and being a little bit careful.
Yeah.
I've got a little bit of bleed there. There's a trick you can get rid of that. Just get some very liquid, the thinnest bleach you can get, and paint that and then blot it, and that'll go away. So that's not a problem. I mean, you can do it to some extent with water, but it tends to spread, I find, when I do it with water, because these powders are so intense.
Yeah.
They just want to share themselves everywhere. So you could pick up the worst of it with water, but certainly bleach will get rid of that, so that's not a problem. So then I've done all around this, I don't know if you can see clearly, but there are daffodils and leaves.
You can make out.
And I've continued with this method. Let me just show you one flower, is that all right? So I'm going to bring in orange slice.
Orange slice. That's in the essentials.
And I'm going to do one of these gorgeous daffodils. And again, I'm just going to paint it section by section, so I don't do the whole thing. And this time what I'm going to do is mix it with water. So into my little palette here, I'm going to pop a little bit of the powder. And then I'm going to get a smaller brush, because these daffodils are quite small. So let me grab a finer tipped paintbrush.
How long does a jar of like the pixie powder last you?
Oh my goodness, forever. Because you just don't use very much, even when you're doing a big panel. You're not going to run out. I wouldn't have said so anyway.
25 ml per bottle, and you literally, look how little you've used. It's amazing.
Such good value. Right, so we'll wet that area of the daffodil, and then I've got my brush loaded with the colour, and I'm literally just going to touch it to the bottom of that section. And again, sit back and watch it do its magic. So I'm going to bring in a petal. Now remember, you're probably going to give it 2 coats of water, because the first coat will drink it up, and then just touch. And watch that travel. It's magic. I just love it. I love watching it.
I know you're not going to do it all, but I think we're all in agreement. And then the oohs and ahs that are coming from the gallery and the oohs and ahs that I can see on the socials, I could quite happily sit and watch you do this for the rest of the afternoon. Well,
I'm sure, but that would be a bit tedious, wouldn't it? So
I don't know if it would. I'm loving life.
Well, I know how long the original one took me, so trust me, you'd have had enough. So it didn't take me that long, maybe 15 minutes, 20 minutes. But here we are.
Oh my word. That is really
How pretty is that?
Yeah. Yeah.
So I want to bring in one of the stencils now, because you can use these in lots of ways through stencils. Let me just find, what am I going to use? Let's use henna petals.
Which one are you going for?
I'm going for henna petals, I've decided.
That one's in the essentials collection.
And I'm going to place it over my design. Depending what you want to do, it might be as wise to cut yourself a mask that would protect this and let it be dry before you carry on. But I'm just going to go for it. So I've got somewhere under here a jumbo dauber. This is like a sponge finger dauber, but if you've got a piece of cut and dry or a smoothie or a foam applicator, the domed one's probably better.
Yeah.
And what I'm going to do is pounce this through the stencil just randomly. I'm not even going to think about where it's going. I just want a slight hint there, and then I'm going to turn it around and do a little bit up in this corner as well.
Oh, you should read the comments coming. Let me read you. You can't read them because I've got them. That's my job. That's your job, Ben. Read the comments. Patty says, this technique is amazing. Such a cool effect. Wow, says Robbie. I love this. I've never seen it before.
Well, thank you very much. That's possibly because it is something I've developed myself.
Well, there you go, you see.
I'm not saying I'm the only one who's ever done it, because I'm sure I'm not.
No.
But I've never seen it done anywhere.
Claim it,
either.
I would. And Elaine says, these are amazing powders. I have to get the whole set.
Yes, you must.
The designs on the Dragonfly are stunning.
They're just incredible. So I'm going to do the background, and I'm going to use, again, a dry powder. So I'm going to bring back in the wild moss. And I'm going to just tap some dry powder into my little well here. And then what I've got is a very soft dusting brush. I'm sure we've all seen these. These are Creative Expressions Cosmic Shimmer dusting brushes. They come in a set of 3. Don't know if you've got them on your website, but they are fabulous. And all I'm going to do is pick up that dry powder, and I'm going to pounce. Now, can you see how that sticky Versamark ink that I put down is holding that powder? I need a bit more.
But again, just look at this as well. See how much powder Gwen's using here? It's like
hardly
next to
any.
nothing.
You can't
Look at
actually
that.
see.
It's next
Pick it
to
up
nothing.
on your brush like that, and then pounce. And wherever that Versamark ink has gone through the stencil, and this is why I wasn't bothered about where I was going, it's just a hint of something in the background. Blow off your dry, loose little bits. Oh, it's going to be good, this.
Well, it already is good.
Even though I do say so myself.
No, you should definitely sing your own praises here. Get that trumpet out and blow it, Gwen.
Dry powder, picking up where the sticky ink was sitting.
Yes.
Now, I'm not finished yet.
No.
No. Because I decided when I'd done this the first time, it's nice, it's pale, which is what I wanted, but it's a bit meh.
It's a bit what?
Bit
Meh.
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 Bit meh.
Meh.
So, I got a fine misting bottle. Again, these are our Cosmic Shimmer ones, which are super fine. And I'm going to do that thing, you know, like when you walk through a fancy department store and they hit you with the perfume when you're going past. So I'm going to mist from the side, and I'm going to let the mist land.
Oh, okay.
So I'm not misting directly onto it.
Here we go. Let's watch it. Here we go.
Can you see it developing?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And that's enough.
That's amazing.
Done. And it'll just bring it out a little bit more and give it a hint of colour. All right, so that's that. Next, I want to do a frame for this.
Okay.
So I've got one already cut from one of Sue Wilson's Noble collection. I'm going to go back to my, where's it gone? Purple Orchid. And I'm going to do a quick wash with a big flat brush.
Not often I'm as quiet as this, and I think most of you will attest to that, but I've spent most of the last 28 minutes oohing and ahhing, as you've heard, and my facial expressions have been like this.
Well, that's very gratifying. Thanks, Ben.
Yeah, I mean, really, and Peg saying, Pam saying, this is a new type of colouring coma. I think lots of you always talk about whenever you see shows and me doing colouring, you all sort of like stop what you're doing and just sort of fall into this sort
Because it's so relaxing, isn't it?
and it's mesmerising to watch how everything comes to life with what you're doing here.
But what I love about this is there's no thought required.
No.
Other than this is what I need to do, this is the method. But you don't have to stay within any lines, really. I mean, I know I did a little bit on the Dragonfly there. So here I'm just wetting, and this is our normal coconut white cardstock. So it's not a heavy weight, it's not watercolour. These will work on anything. And just tap the tiniest bit into that water and watch it do its thing. I mean, they are magic. I'm in love with these. I absolutely adore them. And I do like the fact that, as I say, they're watercolour ink, dry ink, but the intensity of them is something else.
There's so many oohs and ahs coming through, lots of love heart emojis. It is a little bit like tie-dye. Producer Erin was saying, like a little tie-dye effect that you've got going
But
on
already,
there.
just in this one demo, you've seen how many different effects you can achieve, and I've only just started. And I mean, I've used these on my gel plate. They're amazing in the gel plate. You can mix them with texture paste. I'm going to show you them through a stencil shortly. That's cool as well.
Oh, yeah.
So there we are. I'm going to stop because I'm just messing now.
Peg has said, I never think to get out my stencils. This is an excuse to start using your stencils, honestly, with all the goodies that Creative Expressions have brought to us today. Wow.
So
Amazing.
look at that, how interesting is that frame? And I can guarantee if you give somebody a card or even make this into a picture, they'll go, how have you done that?
Yeah, and you can go.
And that as a crafter is what you love. When somebody
course.
says, how have you done that? I like to be able to
That's
say,
the classification of it, isn't it?
So here's one I did earlier, and you can see it's developed. I possibly was a little heavier handed, but it's certainly developed a lot further than the one you've just seen me do. So if we get a chance later on, I'll come back with that one. I promise I won't touch it, and I'll come back and we'll see what's happened to it.
Amazing. Just a question about the dragonfly stamp that you used as well. Where was that from? Do you know off the top of your
So
head?
it's from our designer boutique range,
Right.
and can I remember what it's called? I can't. Dragonfly. It might be Dragonfly Blooms.
Okay.
But you'll find it on Designer Boutique,
Okay.
Creative Expressions.
Fantastic.
Yeah. I'm just going to give this another tiny miss. This is where I ruin it.
Gone once too many. I'm sure you won't.
What you've got to try and avoid, if you want to try this, is not hitting it with the water, because it'll move the powder and you'll get streaks, which is interesting, but that's not what I wanted on this occasion. So I've cut myself a base card. Do you know what? Do I need to stick this together? You're going to ask me to stand it up afterwards, aren't
Well,
you?
you're going to have to later on in the show, yeah, or I'll have to stand it up if you're not here, so...
So there's my dragonfly. Now watch what happens when we put this frame down. This is why it's worth making a frame.
Come on.
There we go.
You're right in the picture here for demo of the show, I'm calling it. This is right in the mix.
Well, was any of that hard though?
No.
Can any of you not do that? I don't think so.
No.
Please have a go, enjoy. These products are such fun.
And like you said though, you give that to someone not in the know, you are going to get asked that question, aren't you? How on earth did you do that? How did you create that?
Yeah.
Literally the most fun. Suzette Suze has just said, we are in awe, Ben. We all are here as well. Honestly, the gallery, I've never heard of it. They're like, wow, wow. It's so good. Mary Pat says, this is my kind of creating. Lorraine says, great demos. I love the pixie powders. And thank you for showing so many different techniques. You can see, can't you, that there's so many different ways to use them. And Sherry, yeah, exactly right, as we've been talking about. She says, it's like watching quiet fireworks.
Yeah. Hey, for all those with pets that get upset by fireworks, there you go.
Create your own fireworks.
Solved.
Just beautiful, says Sherry as well. Wow, you've got to grab these, seriously. Let me show you the which ones have we got on the screen? The brights. So the brights are this one here, aren't they? Right, so the black cherry. You've also got the purple orchid. You've got the beautiful rusty red, the wild moss, and then the gorgeous green jasper, which you saw in that demonstration, of course, as well. And you'll create all of these different colours. You'll have all of the way you've seen there with Gwen to be able to create all of these amazing effects. You've then got your essentials as well. I mean, take a look once again here. You've got Making Waves, gorgeous. That's Erin's favourite. I love the Firefly Glow. Take a look at that. Absolutely beautiful. Orange Slice is fun. It's zesty. It's in your face. You've got the cut grass. How amazing. And then finally, the Very Berry. $14.37 or $21.60 is the platinum price on either the essentials or the brights. If you pick up one thing today, make it be those, because they are amazing, right? And also, whilst you're there, filling up your basket, don't forget the bottle, the Easy Mist spray bottle. This is brilliant. Like, not only is it a massive spray bottle as well, like it's a really big size, so it's got a 200 ml capacity. You've got that ergonomic design on it as well. So if you are someone perhaps who struggles with a normal water bottle, the actual trigger on it is a lot bigger. It's a bigger trigger. A bigger trigger. Am I allowed to take it out of the bag? Can I? I'll take it out of the bag.
One other thing about
I thought you
bottle,
were about to say no.
when it comes, it has a little black stopper under the trigger.
Yeah.
Keep that, because if you're somebody that likes to travel about, it will lock the trigger so it won't leak if you are moving about with water still in the bottle.
Okay.
So don't throw that little black thing away.
Just opening it up now. I've tried to be neat, but I've made a right old mess. Look at that. So So you can see the trigger on it is a lot bigger than perhaps you'd normally expect. So great if you do have dexterity issues, but you've got that really cool pump design in here. And as I'm sure Gwen will show us again, you pump a couple of times and then it just like continuously sprays, which is so super clever. So you don't have to, you're not going to get tired using this, and you can create so many cool effects with it. And the fact that it's 200mm as well, I think is great. So it's big size, ergonomic design, and an absolute must. If you listen to me, if you buy one thing today, just go for the Pixie Burst. If you buy two things today, get the Easy Mist spray bottle into your life as well, because that is phenomenal. You'll probably end up buying maybe 3 or 4 things today, but if you do buy 2, that and that are my favourites so far. But then again, when we get round to the collections of dies and stencils as well, I'll probably tell you to buy those. Buy it all. Comments still coming through. Ben, OMG, says Amanda Daly. These are a must and they are in my basket and I am checking them out. Wow. Also, please let me know what you are going for. Give us a way, put your hand up if you're going for the Pixie Burst, the Pixie Burst Essentials and Brights today. I'd love to know if you're grabbing those. Let me know if you're grabbing this Easy Mist spray bottle as well. I want to see and know what is in your basket, please. You can't miss out on these. Seriously, you cannot miss out on them. Get in touch on Facebook and indeed on YouTube. I cannot believe we've only got just, 23 minutes left with Gwen on this part of the show. She will be back there with you at 6 o'clock this evening UK time, 1 o'clock Eastern, ahead of the second part of our US warehouse clearance show, more details about which I will tell you later on. But Gwen is getting ready for another demo over there. Are you masking up over there?
I am using the Timeless Florals and I'm just masking down, I'm sticking down and masking out the borders, and I'm masking out, there was a little bit with some leaves that was just protruding into the area where I didn't want it, so I've covered that up. So I'm left with just that gorgeous bouquet in the centre. And I'm going to bring in now our clear texture paste, oh, excuse me, frog in throat, and I've got Very Berry, Orange Slice and Cut Grass. And this is what I'm going to use. Okay. So, the first thing I need to do is to put texture paste through my stencil.
What is texture paste, please?
Texture paste, it's like a heavy-bodied gel medium. This particular one is clear. They come in all colours. And they are a medium-bodied, did I say heavy? Medium-bodied paste. Yeah. And they are fluid, and they go through stencils beautifully. And they hold their shape. So if you put a coloured paste through a stencil and then remove the stencil, it will stay where it is. So it's not going to level. And they are beautiful as well for mixing with other products. So for instance, you can mix the Pixie Burst into the texture paste first and then make your own coloured paste, which is quite exciting.
Yeah.
You can also add things like we do intense pigment stains, you can put those into it. You can mix dry powder into it, like mica powder, and make a sparkly paste.
Like glitter you put in it?
Sorry, what?
Glitter, did you say you put in?
You could put glitter, but the problem with mixing glitter in is that the paste would sort of dull down the glitter a little bit because it kind of encapsulates it. So that's probably not the ideal, but you can certainly put the glitter on afterwards. So stencil, take your stencil off and then put your glitter on. That looks gorgeous. And with some of our glitter bits that we do, oh, yes, you'll be drooling.
Do you know what, someone else, talking about drool, who was drooling earlier on? There was someone drooling in the comments.
There seems to be a lot of it going on.
I must find it. Someone said, who was it? Oh, there it is. Nicole says, wow, these Pixie Bursts are so drool-worthy.
There you go. That's a great word. Like it. Yes, they are. So I've gone through my stencil. I'm now just cleaning up the excess. So what I'm doing is using the side of my spatula to go across and just cleaning up any excess. So I'm back down to the plastic. The trick with texture paste or any form of stencil paste is don't overwork it, because what happens, your card starts to get moist and it starts to curve a little bit. And if you keep working, you'll end up pushing the paste underneath your stencil, and then you don't get a great image. So that's just a quick tip. All right, are we ready for some magic?
Oh, always.
So I'm going to bring in Very Berry. In this particular stencil, we have got some flower heads. So I'm not going to be really precise, but I am going to try and pick out the flower heads. Now you can see how little of this I'm applying. It's not because I'm being tight, it's just because you don't need very much.
Yeah.
So flower heads with a little bit of pink. Sometimes if you find the powder's not coming out, there are different sizes of particle in here,
right.
and if a big one decides it's going to sit in the nozzle,
Yeah.
just shake your bottle back up the other way and it'll be fine.
Nee Connie says I've grabbed the essentials and the brights.
Good for you. You won't regret that.
No, you will not.
And then, look, you can see how it's developing. It's spread. I didn't put any pink here, but it's landed.
Yeah.
That's fine. I'm going random this time.
Okay.
So I'm going to bring in a little bit of orange. I found when I did this, I thought, oh, autumnal colours, how beautiful. I know we haven't got summer yet, but, you know, think ahead. I mean, people are thinking about Christmas. I can think about autumn.
Oh, look how it's spreading in the centre there.
Yeah. And then just a little bit of the cut grass. Be aware, if you mix pinks, oranges and greens, you'll get brown. So that would be very autumnal. I would like a little bit of the fresh green to stay. So I'm just going to tap this. Ooh, get my big sleeve out of the way. You can take your time with this. You don't have to rush. There's no panic. It sits quite happily. The only thing I would say is be aware that you do need to get your stencil into water. But again, there's no panic. Right, I'm going to use this Mr. bottle. Perhaps I should get my tray out. Oh, never mind. I'm going to just pump it the once. You can use it like a traditional spray bottle. I didn't mention that.
Yeah,
you don't have to have the continuous flow. But I'm going to come from far away because I know it's quite a big spray, this.
30% of the bottle's gone, by the way. Very busy for that right now.
So it's still going, look. One squeeze. And I love this because I can watch. What you don't want is loads of sitting water.
Yeah.
You only need enough to activate the powder. Oh, look, I've made a mess, Mum.
Uh-oh.
Now, I'm going to stop.
Okay.
I'm going to stop. Look.
Is it advisable to maybe wear an apron if you're using this in your
Nah,
craft?
don't be soft.
That's me told. Don't be soft. Seriously.
Yeah, well, if you're worried, then yes. But I would certainly work in a box like I was doing before.
Yeah.
But for you to be able to see what I'm doing, that perhaps didn't work. So peel off your stencil tape really carefully.
Uh-huh.
Let this sit just a few seconds. It doesn't need long. And then get a bowl of water ready. I've got one underneath here, and we're going to reveal. Now, what's left on the stencil you can actually wet.
Oh, get out of town, Gwen.
No.
That's brilliant. That's amazing.
I need another bit of card.
To your right-hand side,
What?
in the little folders there, just grab whatever you like.
Oh, cool.
There's tons in there.
Thanks. I wasn't going to show you this, but I may as well.
Yeah. Oh, what, you're going to reuse?
Look, all this on here.
Yeah.
Why waste it? So let's mist it. Look at that. I love it. I could just play with this bottle.
I feel like you're doing magic there, the way you sort of, spray the bottle and mist it out.
Let's turn this over.
Oh, here we go. Here we go.
Let me get some copy paper to press, because that would make a mess on my hands. Press this down. This is just a secondary thing. I mean, that's quite nice too.
Here we go.
So that's never going to be perfect, but it's interesting.
It is. I like it.
That's straight into water, and as I say, you don't have to deal with it immediately. As long as it's wet, it can't set. So that's just a secondary. It's a bit random. It's a bit of a abstract background, but I quite like that. You could do more on top of that. So that's just a secondary benefit. But this is our main panel that we've done with the stencil.
Wow.
So let me pop that on some clean paper.
Evelyn says, how long does the texture paste take to dry?
Well, it's a bit like how long's a piece of string,
Gotcha.
because it's how thick is it. Obviously, if you've got it back to the level of the stencil, it's always going to be about the same. And I would say that a piece like that would probably need a couple of hours. You can waft it with a heat gun, but you just have to be careful you don't bubble the paste. I mean, actually, that's a technique I do when I want it to bubble. Yeah. But I didn't want this to bubble. So I would just leave it to dry naturally, a couple of hours, or in a warm, warm environment. It'll be done in no time. And the other reason for not heating it is that the powders will continue to develop if you leave it alone.
Gotcha.
But how pretty is that? It's like a bouquet of flowers.
Oh, that's amazing.
So, to move on from that, pop that to one side, I'm going to create another frame.
Okay.
And this is pretty much like I did with, in fact, you don't need to see me do it because I did it with the dragonfly. So let me show you what I got. These are 2 different panels that I did. You can see they're quite different.
Yeah.
This one was very dark, and this one I was a bit more restrained. And I would say the more restrained ones, you're going to see more of that colour variation coming out, but equally nice. So I did an orange frame, the same way you saw me do the purple frame on the
Orange
dragonfly.
slice.
So this was with orange slice and a little bit of very berry mixed in, but just random. And I've attached that to my stenciled circle. And then what I'm going to do for a mat for that is find a piece that's a bit bigger, and I'm just going to literally paint an edge. So
Jamie was asking
Here
in
we
the gallery, what was Jamie's question? Oh, could you use it as the ink for a stamp? Could you stamp with it?
yes, you can. Yes, you can. Would you like me to show you that?
You can.
I
don't
can
want to
show
put
you
off
that.
What demos you were going
That's
to do.
absolutely fine. I can show you that. Just
Okay.
let me. Right, that's got contaminated. How rude. I'll have to put a new lot in here. So this time what I'm going to do is just mix my Pixie Burst with water to create a paint, and then simply slap it on. All right, so you can use these like a paint. You can certainly use them like a watercolour if that's something you enjoy.
Yeah.
You can literally just paint with them, and that's fun too. But why, when you can get all these effects?
Oh, I know. Peg is oohing. She says, I've just oohed out loud. I've just oohed.
I love that. That's so fun.
And new colleagues are saying the reverse product, so beautiful. Yeah, so don't waste it. You know, create the interesting backgrounds like Gwen did, and pop them in your box for later on.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes they're better than others, but I would say with something like that, I'd probably use a portion of it. Where it's not so good here, I'd probably put a sentiment over it.
Yeah.
Add a few gems and put a frame on it or something, and it becomes interesting. Right, so we've got an orange mat here. I can now pop on this that I did earlier, and that's going to make it ping. Look at that.
Oh, yes.
Because trust me, you will never find the right colour of cardstock when you're trying to match up products like this.
Yeah, exactly right.
So to be able to paint your own mat with the product is just perfect. So I've got a base card, I've got my painted mat, and my focal stenciled image.
Oh, wow.
There we go.
Do you know what? I mean, I was rocked and impressed by the demos that we saw earlier on with the die and stencil sets. But these Pixie Bursts are just like, they're off the chart, aren't they? They are unbelievable. Do you know what? We've got stencils within die sets today as well. But if you do decide, well, you're definitely going to get the Pixie Burst. You're definitely going to get those. I know that you are. But if you're getting those and you want stencils individually, you can go for individual items as well. Best thing to do is shop the show. But I've never seen so many oohs and ahs and wows and all these kind of comments coming through on the socials. Do let us know what you think, what you're loving. Let us know what you're ordering. Let us know how many of you have ordered those Pixie Bursts, which ones you've gone for. You've probably gone for both. If you want to get the texture paste, it is available on the show for you. £7 or $10.40 for your clear. There's 150 mil in that texture paste. And then the item which I think everybody's pretty much going for is the Pixie Bursts. We'll have a look at the essentials first of all. And again, this is just an idea of the kind of backgrounds and colours that you can create, because again, depending on how you use them, depending on how much you use, you're going to create different effects, different colours, different hues as well. But don't they just create the most gorgeous effects? And you've seen, with the orange slice that we saw just there, teeny tiny little bottle, in essence, it's 25 mil, but you literally need the tiniest amount to create the most stunning effects, and that's why you absolutely need to grab these today. Very Berry is the fifth of the 5 in the essentials, £14.37, $21.60, and then you've also got the gorgeous brights in here as well. Again, 5 bottles, 25ml, and here are all of those gorgeous colours. Pamela's just saying, I haven't purchased a Cosmic Shimmer product yet that hasn't been wowzer worthy. I mean, they're getting described as drool-worthy today, wowzer-worthy, people are oohing out loud. I mean, seriously, I have never, ever seen so many people lose their minds over a product. You guys are loving these pixie bursts. Make sure you grab them. Here's the thing. They're selling so fast. Don't wait. Don't think, oh, well, I'll come back later on because I don't want to be, well, I won't be the bearer of bad news because I won't be here because Craig's coming up later with Debbie. But make sure you get them before the latest show because I've got a feeling as more and more people start tuning in, you know, for goodness sake, it's only sort of, what is it, 8 in the morning Pacific time. So more people are going to be watching through the day. They're going to be re-watching shows because the shows stay there on our Facebook page, on YouTube, and people will be buying these and they're going to go. I know they will. So get yours now to ensure that you don't miss out. We've got 10 minutes to go. Have you got one more demo you could squeeze in for us, Gwen?
Yes. Well, I had, but if you want to show me how you can stamp with these, shall we do that?
That would be nice if you don't mind.
Let's do that.
Beautiful. Look
I don't know if I'm allowed to say this.
What?
You can cut it out if I'm not.
It's live!
I've got an online workshop
Oh,
up
that's all right.
of my own.
Yeah, that's fine. Go ahead.
With these pixie bursts.
Yeah.
So you'll have to PM me because I can't promote it here.
Okay. Have you got your own page with...
Yeah, but it's my shop.
Oh, okay.
But if you find me on Gwen Fletcher Crafts and message me on there.
Yeah. Good. There you go. Gwen Fletcher.
So I'm just putting a little bit of Versamark onto the dragonfly stamp.
Okay.
And then, now I'm afraid you are going to have to get your fingers in this. If you can't cope with that, you could put a tight-fitting finger glove on.
Yeah.
I'm going to put the pixies onto my stamp. So let me bring that across so you can actually see what I'm doing. That would be helpful, wouldn't it? Move that out of the way. Here. So just a little bit of Versamark. And let's have a blue one. Let's have Making Waves. So I'm going to use that little piece of scrap card that we had before. And I'm tapping a little bit of powder onto it. Let me try and get that so you can see just a little bit, and then I'm going to use my finger.
Okay.
I'm going to pick the powder up with my finger.
Yeah.
And I'm going to rub it onto my stamp.
Okay.
Now this is very imprecise, and I'm not just covering myself in case it don't work.
That's the fun, isn't it? Being imprecise.
But it really is imprecise. You can also see that by rubbing that into the cardstock, I've coloured the cardstock, so that's another thing you can do. And then if you misted the cardstock, you would get a really gorgeous effect. I've got a box full of samples under here that I forgot to get out, so
Or we might have to quick.
It's not very helpful, is it?
We might have a bit of time. Well, maybe.
So look, you will get an inky finger.
Yep.
Oops, sorry.
Oh.
Stop it.
Sorry.
Right, I'm going to put a piece of card, which just happens to be cut into a lovely oval.
Yep.
Let me make sure I'm going to hit it with my stamp. Yep. I haven't done the whole stamp, but you get the idea.
Yeah, exactly.
And I'm going to do that funny misting technique I did, where I'm going to mist across the top of it and let it land. Sounds like I'm praying. And then turn that over and just let it sit.
Okay.
Just let it develop. The cardstock needs time, like with any ink, to absorb it.
Okay. And it was the lightest of wafts you gave that.
It was a very light waft.
Yeah.
And this won't be complete because I'm just doing it quick so I can show you.
No, but just to see how to do it.
Are we ready?
I think so. Ooh.
Now, if you want it more wet, add more water, and you can create what is effectively a watercolour effect. So I've got a slightly bigger piece of card. I'm not going to add any more powder, but I am going to wet it more intensely. So just let me mist more directly onto that. Now you can see already what's happening to that. It's developing actually on the stamp.
Yeah.
So be careful when you turn it over because there will be drips that may land.
Kind of silent in anticipation. Ooh, wow.
So can you see how that's a much more of a watercolour effect? This one's quite crisp. I kept it relatively dry. This one you can see it's got more bleed happening, but look at the colours that are coming out here. So if I'd done the whole stamp, that would have been very exciting. If you're not happy with this one, you can mist that as well. And it will develop.
Yeah.
So the sky's the limit, the world's your oyster.
Absolutely.
But how fabulous.
I'm glad whoever it was who asked that question.
Yes, me too,
It was
thank you.
Jamie, wasn't it? I'm glad that you asked it, and then glad that you showed it. Absolutely amazing. Whichever of the Pixie Burst collections you're going for, get them in your basket, get them checked out. It's busy. 14.37 or 21.60. We're almost out of time. I must remind you, Gwen, before I forget as well, make sure you leave your cards behind, because we'll do the demo of the show vote in about about 50 minutes time. So I have a feeling that yours will be up there. I'll quickly rattle through. I tell you what, let's just have a quick look at what's coming up in the later show. And then Gwen, maybe we can have a look at some of your finished samples before we disappear.
Yes.
So this collection here is coming up at 6 o'clock with Gwen. She'll be here with Craig. And this is the collection that we've not yet looked at, the Exotic Paper Cuts Die and Stencil bundle. So you're going to get your 3 beautiful dies. Well, actually, we did touch on them briefly in the earlier show. So you've got your beautiful mermaid, you've got your exotic elephant, and then your wise wolf. So those are gorgeous, gorgeous dies. I mean, super, super quality, and the level of detail you get, again, wait till you see those in action later. And then you're also going to get your 2 7x7 stencils. You've got your henna petals, and you'll also get your star flower as well. That bundle is a 10% saving for everyone. Platinum, another 20% comes off, don't forget, so that's $37.99 or $60.79. Just before we have a look at some final samples with Gwen, I just want to remind you on the water bottle as well. Where's me? Oh, is he there? What are you doing over there? The water bottle, 40% of the stock has now disappeared. You guys have seen Gwen using this right throughout the show. 200 ml it's going to hold. You've got that easy to use trigger on here, and of course you've got that really cool feature where if you spray it a couple of times, you can then leave it just to keep dispersing the water. So if you are perhaps someone who has dexterity issues, this might help you out. £7.99 or $12 is the deal on that. That is going to go, I know it will. The Pixie Bursts, they're going to go as well. So please check out your baskets in between shows. Before we disappear, we've got about 3 minutes left. So Gwen, can you show us some of those little products?
Show you this that we've left developing. You can see that daffodil, how the colour is fading out towards the tip, so you get natural fade. You don't have to worry about shading, it does it for you. The frame I did earlier has now dried pretty much, and as you can see it's continued to develop. Got a little bit of a crusty bit there. I can wet that and it will carry on moving. You can always go back and alter it. My stencil, which we did with the paste and the pixies, that's now developed and is now drying quite happily. And this one is similar to the dragonfly, white embossed, and then I just sprayed really heavily with the green jasper and the white resisted, and then I left it to dry, and you get all these gorgeous variations, and just a frame on that, and that's all you need to do. That would have been my third demo, but hey. So let me show you some previous samples. This one is done using some of the flowers off a stamp, so not the whole stamp, a tiny bit of powder and some spritz. This one's very heavy, clear embossed.
Oh wow.
So that's orange slice and making waves used over that. You can go simple, you can go clean, you can do little cards.
That's lovely.
There's the daffodil off the dragonfly stamp, just used on the corners. And let me show you something different, if I can find it. There's one that was just a couple of little splats.
Oh wow.
Now this one was actually the scrap card that I'd been using to drop my powders from. And after I'd finished, I thought, oh, I wonder if there's anything left on there. So I misted it, and that's what happened. And I was like, wow. I was like, wow. I couldn't do it again if I tried.
No.
But that's how simple it can be. A few gems, a few sequins, and a sentiment, and a couple of painted strips to match, and you've got a lovely card from scrap.
Yeah, but that's the fun with this, isn't it? Like we said, the fact that you are going to get these wow cards and wow backgrounds every time, and chances are you won't know exactly how it's going to turn out, but surely that's the joy of using these, isn't it?
Definitely. This one was a labour of love. This was painted in the same way I did the dragonfly.
Oh, wow.
And then I've got some sparkle that I've put in the circles on here. That's another Designer Boutique stamp. I've got another one under here that I did with a different stencil with texture paste. Sprinkled in cut grass and I think it was Firefly Glue, or it might have been the Wild Moss.
Yeah, amazing.
And then the dragonflies are done on acetate.
Yes.
So you've got these amazing translucent wings.
Beautiful.
So yeah, have fun, enjoy. They are brilliant products. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Gwen. We are out of time, but what an hour that was. Hannah says, thank you, Gwen. We'll have to watch back. A great reminder of how to use my pixies I purchased a while ago. Gwen will be back with you at 6 o'clock with Craig. Make sure you leave your cards, because I have a feeling they will be in the running for demo of the show. And you guys, whilst we take a short little break, make sure you check out your baskets, check out your carts, because it is only going to get busier. Thank you to Gwen. She's back at 6, 1 o'clock Eastern, 10 o'clock Pacific. I will be back with you in just a few moments' time with Debbie McGiggles for the second part of launch day. And until then, head to the checkouts.
Welcome to Club Inspire, the crafters' companion community where you can feed your crafty obsession. Join our fantastic loyalty club today and receive 20% of your first order. We'll also give you 250 points to help get you started. Other benefits of joining Club Inspire include exclusive special offers and discounts for Club Inspire members only, exclusive sneak peek previews of brand new product launches, and of course the Club Inspire community group on Facebook, where you can access exclusive content such as downloads, offers and inspiration, and of course you can chat and share your makes with other members. You'll receive 1 point for every pound, dollar or euro you spend, and the more points you receive, the more benefits you'll unlock. So what are you waiting for? Sign up, join the club and start rewarding yourself today.
Welcome to Crafters TV. With more than 35 hours of live shows each week, it's your home for all things craft. We shine the spotlight on new and innovative crafting products with live tutorials and demonstrations. Join our family of craft experts where fun happens every day.
Quiet. The neighbours.
I'm all out of Zoom. I'm so lost without you. I'm not singing.
Lisa, if you email in, don't send a picture of your air fryer. Make sure it's something creative.
Get creative and craft along. With our amazing deals, your next craft project is just a click away. Tune in live 7 days a week, or you can watch us on Catch Up at crafterscompanion.com, Facebook, or our YouTube channels. You can chat to us, craft along, and meet new friends by joining our online crafting community.
You entertain us. You give us a community to talk, in the chat. That wouldn't happen without you guys. It's like Crafters Companion is magical. There's magic here.
Joy, there's not a dry eye in the studio here. Debbie's welling up, I'm welling up.
There's a show for every type of crafter, from first-time dabblers to full-time makers. Crafters TV. Create every day.
Hello. Hello, where'd that come from? Hello, and welcome back to Crafters TV. My name is Ben Moseby. Thank you for joining us once again. It's me last hour of the week this week. Craig is going to be in later on for, well, here's the thing, 6 o'clock. Be another hour with creative expression. So it's Craig and Gwen for the final hour there with whatever stock is left, because I'm sure it will be decimated over the course of the next few hours. And then 2 hours from 7 o'clock, 2 o'clock Eastern, US warehouse clearance. It is a continuation of the show from Monday. Chance for you to pick up some of the deals which are still live, things like the Lucky Dips, things like the mystery bags. We've got an amazing deal on core tools, on adhesives, and so much more. That show, of course, only available to our US viewers to purchase. If you're in the UK, you can watch it, but you won't be able to buy. But I'm assured that we will have another UK warehouse clearance show in the not too distant future. Before that, though, we've got our final hour of launch day, and for those of you who perhaps missed it at 2 o'clock, let us remind you as to what it is. It's all about the flowers. It's all about decoupage. Why did I say like that? Decoupage. Decoupage. So it's a lovely, lovely stamp and die set to allow you to create the most beautiful decoupaged florals. And as we saw a little bit later on, if you missed the show, I urge you to go back and watch the first hour. These are so beautiful. They're so big, they're so bold for all occasions, all year round. And the great thing is, of course, is you can use them with lots of different materials as well. I'll quickly show you all the designs that you're going to get, and then we'll welcome Debbie back, who I know has got some great demos up her sleeve. But you've got carnations in here. You've also got the fabulous fuchsia. You will see the card that Debbie made with that one at the end of this show, because it will be up for demo of the show. Really, really stunning and easy to be able to create these gorgeous florals. That's the point again here. We're giving you all of the tools that you need to be able to create the most gorgeous, fragrant, sweet peas that you've got there. This one here is that radiant rose. Get your colours out, get colouring these with your alcohol markers, your watercolour pens, have fun with them, you know. And the fact is, you've got your stamps and dies, but if you decide that you just want to die cut into your own cardstock, the dies are so detailed that you'll still get all of the detailing in your floral, all the detailing there in your leaf as well. And if you decide actually you just want to use these as pretty stamps, again, you can do that. But they all play beautifully together as well. So if you're going to stamp and cut, you'll get a perfect cut every single time. And of course, you can just be as minimalistic as you want with these, or indeed if you just want to create the most beautiful bouquet for the front of a card, for a box, for decorations around the home, for home decor pieces. You know, as we said earlier on, even if you wanted to use these as little decorations for a corsage or a boutonniere or whatever it might be, these are going to be something that you will use time and time again. $55.99 is the platinum price. $63.44. If you love them but you can't stretch to that, fear not, you can go individually, or you can go 2 for £26 or 2 for $30. Pammy has just said, okay, all checked out. Pixie powders are coming to me. They'll be going to a lot of houses. I know they will. They'll be going to a lot of houses. Something else which will be going to a lot of houses is this collection, and inspiring you over the course of the next 55 minutes. It is the lovely, back from her holidays. Did she tell you she's been on holiday? The lovely Debbie McGiggles.
It's a good job you warn people. It should come with a warning, orange, orange, orange. With my tan, I was thinking.
I think it's very natural. Can I just say as well, and I meant to say earlier on, I really like your bow as well.
I know. I said, am I too young to wear a bow? Too old to wear a bow?
So.
And Ben actually said it matches my personality.
I did say that.
Like Minnie Mouse.
I also said that. I don't think everyone could get away with it, but Debbie gets away with it because she's the kind of person that she is. I think she looks great. I think you look healthy, you look well, you look vibrant, and this is a gorgeous collection as well.
Oh, absolutely, yeah. I feel really relaxed. I'm really ready to come back to work. And actually, the best thing for me to come back into is flowers, because they are totally right up my street.
Yeah.
I mean, I love anything florals because I think there is so much you can do with them, and they're the one thing we tend to decorate our cards with.
Yeah.
Whatever our makes with, our construction with, our boxes, our gift giving. Great if you've got someone, I know it's not a nice thing, but you can't take flowers into hospitals.
No.
You know, you could make them a really nice card or a box with, you know, a gift with flowers on it, which is quite a nice thing to compensate with without the fresh flowers. Right, let's get on to it. I'm going to use the lily one, the delicate lily. We used this morning in the 11 a.m. show, so I'm not going to stamp it out again. I've already stamped it out because I need 2 of these to layer them up. So that's all you do, stamp them out. You need 2 of your lilies because obviously you have 6 petals, 3 at the bottom, 3 at the top. And then we've got our leaf dies and our stamens as well. And then you've got the dies to cut them out. So we're going to colour them in first though. So let's pop them to the side,
okay.
Pop those onto there, and I'm going to bring in our tri-blend brush. I love the brushes. Now the colours that I'm using are burnt orange blend, the gold yellow blend, the coral blend, and the citrus green blend for the leaves.
Yeah.
So first of all, let's just colour our leaf in. So just going over the top. I love the brush ones because they are very quick to use. So you just put down that layer of colour very quickly. We can add in a little bit of the darker, just coming down. I don't want too much. And then if you want to just put in some darker colour just to highlight that, the beginning part, although we won't see a lot of that, so it won't be too much because they'll be tucked in underneath. And then our stamen, I'm going to go in. Now, the reason I brought the coral in, because this colour on the end, the darkest one, which is our let me have a look, it's the CR11.
Yeah.
It's great for the tips of these. Do you know when you get like the what's it called, the little neck, the pollen?
Oh, yes.
The pollen tips.
Yeah, yeah.
For me, this is the perfect colour for those. Or the ones that stain and that we cut out of our lilies. Then let's colour our actual, oh no, we don't want that one, we want the darker one. So just coming in with that
Big
one.
stamps, aren't they?
Sorry?
I've just realised how big they are.
Yeah, really big, aren't they?
Yeah.
Yeah, really nice size. Now, if you go over, so a little tip here, because these are actual, they're going to cut out your design. So just go in on the edges, which I should have done originally, but I didn't want to do it without telling you why. Because then that way, if you get a little bit of white space on one side where it's slightly gone over, you shouldn't, but it means you'll get no whiteness around that.
Okay.
So it will act as the perfect sort of cut of the stamen. And then we're going to go in with our lightest colour. So I'm going to start with our gold yellow blend, and then just really give some light into the centre of our lilies. I'll rotate these. And you can see I'm doing it really quickly. I'm not doing it, not even for demo purposes, because we could sit in colour for a little while. But the fact that you don't need to take too much time to lay some colour down on these.
Yeah.
They look really beautiful. And you just decide what colours you sort of want to go for. And then I'm going to bring in some orange into that.
That's the joy there, isn't it, of this, is that you can decide to create a different type of lily or a different colour rose, you know.
Yeah, absolutely.
Be your own florist.
And you don't have to worry about going out the edges because it will cut that way. So let's just say for I want to give this to my 7-year-old Ruby, and she'll hate me saying this because she'll go, Nanny, I don't go out of the edges. She's very good. She stays within the edges.
Say you were giving it to me, because I probably go out the edges.
If I was giving this to Ben and he went just like over the edges, it really doesn't matter.
No.
So you really can just scribble down that colour onto there just to get a beautiful effect. And I am just going to flick some just darker bits up through that centre. I'm not too worried about getting it too much because you're not going to see the centre part of at least one of them, but even when you do your other ones, you're going to be putting your stamen on the centre. And then let's come back in and do our other one. So again, just that lighter shade. The lightest shade of your alcohol pens is the one that's going to blend the most because it's got the most alcohol content in there. And that will help it all come together and blend beautifully.
Is the lily a favourite of yours, flower-wise?
I do love the lily.
Yeah,
I love a lily.
Yeah, second time you've shown it, isn't it? I'm thinking maybe that's your favourite.
I do love a lily. I think lilies just look amazing.
Yeah.
And also, they're probably the easiest flower to put together.
Yeah.
So just a really nice, easy flower to do. Yeah, I do love a lily. And I love them indoors, especially like the real big sort of lilies that they do. But once the smell really comes out on them, I can't bear the smell. They give me a bit of a headache.
Oh, do they?
Yeah, I cut the stamens out when they appear.
Yeah.
But then the smell just gets too strong.
Oh.
Let me know if you cope with the smell of lilies, because some of them can be very, very strong.
Okay.
And then we're going to pop, I think they're Sarah's favourite as well, if I remember rightly.
I think you might, I have that somewhere in the deeper recesses of my mind. I think they are her favourite. Yeah.
Yeah, I think they're lots of people's favourites. And then let's just come in and do this one. And again, I'm not worried about where I'm colouring. You can be really quick your colouring. They're great if you love your watercolours, because obviously that's going to really show you how easy it is to put them together. You just have to do them onto watercolour cardstock
Yeah.
And really super easy.
Pammy's bought some. Pammy, let us know which ones you bought. You say I may have snuck a few of these into my order too. So you bought the pixie powders and some of the floors. Let us know which ones you've bought. Which are your favourites? Let us know in the comments. We did a bit of a straw poll yesterday on the 3D templates to find out which was your fave. But which is your favourite flower within this collection? We've got the carnations, we've got the rose, haven't we? We've got the lily, we've got the sweet pea, we've got the fuchsia. There's one other one. What have I missed? The lilac.
Rose, lilac.
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 Let us know your fave. Quick straw poll on the socials. Which one? I really like the carnation in this set, actually.
Yeah, the carnation is beautiful.
Can't go too far wrong. Oh, as far as people are shopping, the lily and the fuchsia apparently are tied.
There you go.
The two that you've demoed, funnily enough.
Yeah, actually, and I'm not surprised the fuchsia, because I think fuchsias are really hard to get right, and the team have just done an amazing job of making those lilies come to life. Yeah, they're the sort of thing that you could make loads of and just have them sort of hanging as decorations in your house, and they would look magnificent.
Well, like you said, if you for whatever reason, maybe you're allergic to flowers, or like our Rachel says, it's a hyacinth that I can't stand the smell of. Maybe it's a flower that you got the look of, but don't like the smell of it. But you can create it, can't you?
And if you get some floristry wire, you can actually have them in vases. You could have them hanging. You could easily make a display, like in a little plant pot of a fuchsia, with them all hanging. They would look amazing.
And if you're anything like my Laura as well, I mean, these would be perfect, because I do buy flowers, well, now
when you're in the doghouse, was you going to say that?
I'm never in the doghouse, Debbie. How dare you? No, I do sometimes. I have like a flash of sort of romantic inspiration. I go, I'll buy some flowers. But then whenever I do buy her flowers, they always die quite quickly because she doesn't water them. So if you're like her, if you can't tend to flowers well, these are perfect for you, because you don't have to water these, do you? You just, like you say, get some floristry wire, make a little nice display, and then they are. They're there.
Although I'm determined to keep our flower, I'm not sure what it is actually.
What?
I will take a picture when I get home, and I will post it and see if anyone knows what it is. It's got like quite big leaves, and then it's got these little stems that come up with like little white, almost like a leaf itself, like little bud, that they all sort of just shoot up. Probably not really explain that very well. But the reason I'm telling you is because Al got given it from work, so they have this big thing. They do a lot in his job. At the firm that he works from is a marketing company, and they do a lot for the environment and to help people, and they do like change makers and that sort of thing. And they were all sent home with a plant. And if they could keep it alive for a year, they get £200.
You're joking me?
No, I'm not joking you at all. So I'm determined. So it's on my windowsill and it's thriving. And I'm like, I'm keeping this plant alive for a year.
Is he going to keep the 200 quid though?
Well, yeah, I haven't said that to him actually. I'm sure he would. I'll tell him he can split it. But yeah, so it's because it's good for the environment. Plants are good for the environment, and the greenery and. Yeah, the firm give you £200 if you can keep it alive for a year.
That's a great incentive, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, wow. I'll
So
tell
I'll
my
take
Laura
a
that
picture
next time
tomorrow.
I
I'm here tomorrow, and then the next day I'll take a picture and put it on my social media, and I'm sure you'll all know what plant, or you can tell me what plant it is, and the best way to keep it alive for a year.
Yeah, exactly right. And then maybe Debbie will cut you in on the £200.
Or maybe not.
Or maybe not, yeah. Just give me all your ideas.
Yeah, just
so
give me your
all the
ideas,
money.
I'll just keep it. Al will probably keep the money.
Does he buy you flowers, Al?
Yes, he has done. Yeah, for no reason.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't think people should buy flowers not for a reason. I mean, for if they're in the doghouse.
I like to buy them for non-occasions, because it's very easy to do it for Valentine's and stuff like that, isn't it? But I always feel sometimes if like you've just said, I'm never in the doghouse. I mean, I know you probably can't believe that, but this face in the doghouse, what are you talking about? I'm never in the doghouse, but then I sometimes feel when I do buy them for an occasion, that isn't an occasion, and I give them to Laura, she thinks that I've done something wrong. I don't know if she
Yeah.
does. Do you know what I mean?
What have you done?
Yeah. It's like, I haven't done anything wrong. I just want to give you some...
To be honest, that's a bit unfair what I just said, because I do think that if there's apology that needs doing, I don't think there's no harm in getting flowers for that.
No.
I didn't want anyone to feel like they shouldn't go and buy flowers if they're in the doghouse. But as long as they're well meant, it's nice, isn't it?
Yeah.
So what I'm doing here is putting a completely different colour on. I'm using fuchsia, but look how much it highlights the edges on there. So oranges and pinks just look amazing together. And what I love about being able to be creative with a flower is no two flowers are the same.
No.
They all look similar, but they're all very different. And you get different colour tones in them. And this, with using all these different pen types, makes the leaves look amazing. And just less boring, really.
Just to say what producer Erin's just told me. So her partner Diego, when they first met, bought her flowers every week, and it went on for a little while.
Oh,
and eventually,
that's so romantic.
Erin said, "Seriously, stop buying me flowers every single week." And he stopped, and he's never bought her any since.
Oh.
9 years later.
No, Erin,
Well,
why
you
did
said
you
it.
say stop? Oh, I would love it. I would love having fresh flowers every week. They're amazing.
They're expensive.
Well, yeah, they are. They're very
Yeah.
expensive. I was very naughty when I was little. I'm always telling my secrets, aren't I?
You didn't jump over the fence into the next door neighbour's garden, did you?
No, worse.
You stole them from a florist.
Well, I didn't steal them from a florist.
Breaking the law, breaking the law.
It was Mother's Day and I didn't have a lot of money.
Right.
And in our town in Thetford, so anyone that's watching from Thetford, we've got a place called King's Gardens, which is where the old council house used to be.
Right.
And then you go in the back gardens and they had really lovely flowers. So I went and bought a sheet of wrapping paper and I went and pinched some flowers out of the gardens and wrapped them in the wrapping paper, which was really naughty because obviously flowers are for people to, you know, enjoy, aren't they?
But you used your ingenuity.
Yes, I did.
And it didn't harm anyone, did it?
No,
Really?
I
You
know,
a couple of flowers.
but you shouldn't really do
No,
that.
you shouldn't. We
But my
shouldn't.
mum was really chuffed. She didn't know that I picked them out of King's Gardens.
Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. What is she like? I love Debbie's stories. I tell you a story. I shouldn't really tell you the story, but I'll tell you anyway.
That is so me, isn't it? I won't go into detail.
But let me tell you it, blow by blow, exactly what happened and why I'm now banned from Thetford. Have you seen this woman?
Right, so we're going to create a little bit of a dough front, similar to what we did earlier, but slightly different. So this time we've created our main edge here, and I've also got a piece of card, which I have created at 6x6, card blank 6x6 as well to go on the front. And then all I'm going to do is wrap this piece around the actual piece of card this time, so right on the back. So this actually is where your red liner tape would really come in handy. In fact, let's grab some and then bring that over. So pop that onto the edge. And the reason using the red liner tape is because it is the strongest tape that we have. And it will stick that to the back beautifully.
Our Rachel on socials, Radical Rachel says, my husband is a gardener, so I usually get plants in pots rather than cut flowers. That's all things cut out of my own garden.
Oh, I love that as well, though. I think that's really nice.
That's brilliant. I love that so much.
I would just be like, oh, I've run out of flowers, dear. Could you go and get me a pot plant?
And as far as your favourites are concerned, Alison says the lily. Kelly says lilac and lilies are my faves. Pammy bought the lilies, fuchsia and the sweet pea. Lilies are my favourites, says Mary Pat. They remind me of my middle daughter's wedding. She had an autumn wedding with orange, burgundy and purple colours, and it was gorgeous.
Oh, wow. That sounds amazing.
Lily and lilac for Susan. Nee Connie says it's a sweet pea for me. Don't know why she says it with a Scottish accent though.
That has made me want to grow some sweet peas this year. I might do that.
Yeah. And Terry says, so they're trying to figure out your plant you're trying to keep alive for 200
Oh, yes,
quid.
yep.
Terry says it sounds like a peace lily.
Oh, it could be.
Let me Google it.
Yeah. Yes, Google peace lily and then
Good
I will know,
work
won't
here,
I?
Terry. If this is right, how on earth have you worked that out from that description?
Yes, because it does have...
I think you're right. I think you are right. Sorry.
We have the most amazing people if it is that.
Is it that?
Isn't that funny? It's a lily. Yes, yes, it's that.
It is.
It picks up and it's got little tiny leaves.
It's a peace.
Yeah.
It's a peace lily.
Now, how easy? Now you need to Google how easy it is to keep indoors, or do I need to plant it outdoors? It's only they're only little, like only little tiny little leaves.
Oh, I'll stay here a minute. Just carry on. What do you want me to Google? How easy?
How do I look after a peace
How
lily?
do I look after a
It's a
peace-
floral show,
Is it?
Erin.
Grow peace lilies in a bright spot out of direct sunlight.
Well, they're on the windowsill, and that's out of direct sunlight.
Water
so it's
regularly.
right. Yes.
Keep-
Well, I've been watering from the bottom, so not. Let me explain. You know what I mean, don't
I'm
you?
just being annoying. Yes, carry on. You've been watering from the bottom.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In the little dish it's in, I put water into that, so the bottom of the plant absorbs the water, not through the actual soil. Yes, I don't know if that's the right way to do
You
it.
you need to keep the compost moist but not wet. I don't know what's funny about that. In spring and summer, feed fortnightly with a liquid houseplant food.
Oh, I haven't done
You need
that.
to do that. And you also, I mean, did you want all this information?
Yeah.
You need to deadhead spent blooms.
It's worth £200, this information, Ben.
Oh, well, at least £1 for this information I'm giving you now. You need to deadhead spent blooms and dust or wipe the leaves regularly to ensure they photosynthesize well.
Oh, it's very technical, isn't it?
No,
Well, I
wow.
suppose they're not just going to give £200 away. Well, I think that's doable. I think.
I mean, it's not a lot, is it? You know, it's not a lot.
Oh dear.
I'm going back over there now.
It's hot, hot.
It is hot, sorry.
Right,
Do you want the
we've
fan
got
on?
a card together. I could do with the fan.
I'll go and turn it on for
really
you.
Hot.
Oh dear, don't we have a laugh?
It's my makeup won't run because I've got no makeup on.
Right, yeah.
Well, I have on my eyes, but not on my face.
Oh.
Right, so let's pop. I've got a little, on Sarah's last collection, she had the little swash stamps, swash dies. So I've just cut those out. Oh, that's lovely. Oh, that's very lovely. I'm just going to grab my dotty tape pen and then we're going to just tape these two together. So pop this one, the green one. I've cut out a green and a black.
Today says, Giggles is back in town. We miss you so much, woman.
Oh,
Yes.
thank you.
Oh dear, what a laugh,
Oh
eh?
dear.
Well done, Terry. Thank you, by the way, with the peace lily. Give yourself a pat on the back for getting that one right.
Yeah, that's. How did you get that from me? Just my explanation was really rubbish. So you are very clever.
Yes. And hello to Bernadette Beauchamp, who says, just back from the Lilac Festival in Rochester, New York, I can still smell the lovely lilacs, and I cannot wait to get these dyes.
Yeah, the lilacs smell beautiful, don't they? I think someone was telling me, I was hearing the other day, a lot of people didn't think lilacs were a flower, thought it was just like a colour.
Oh, colour.
Right, so let's just pop that. I'm going to pop that onto the bottom here. And then on the inside, we're going to build up our flower. So I'm just going to grab I think that one looks the nicest one on top. Pop that in there.
Amanda says, oh, we're getting peace lily tips now. Amanda says, peace lilies like bright light. I thought they said on what I told you is to
Yeah,
keep
bright light, but not direct,
them, not direct
sunlight.
Okay, so they like bright light. Keep them root bound so they produce flowers, or they will just produce leaves.
Root bound. I don't know what that means.
Does that mean like
Keep them root bound.
like keep them?
Yeah, I really don't know what that means.
No, let us know. We don't know what that means.
We're acting like we're gardeners, but we're really not.
I want you to win the £200. You see?
Yeah, I do too.
Yeah. The £200 is coming from the company, right?
Yeah, for the company.
'Cause
Yeah,
they're all about.
it's
the
all
environment.
about the environment and yeah,
To
really
keep
nice.
plants alive longer, because obviously we need plants and trees and that to survive, don't we? So that's the
Yep.
deal.
Yep, absolutely.
How do they know it's the same
That's
plants
very
as
true.
everything?
Yeah, I'd not
That
thought
is
about that
very
one,
true.
Erin. Yeah, that's very true. Perhaps I think what I'm going to do, I'm going to do a video diary of it.
Oh, are
Each
you?
week, shall I do that? Shall I take a picture each week?
That's a big commitment.
Yeah, it is a bit.
It's only 200 quid you're getting for this. I mean, don't, you know.
That's a bit. It's a bit like when people. You don't even know what I'm going to say. I know, I'm
it's really
terrible. I'm
funny.
so sorry. It's a bit like when people go and replace something. So when I was little, my mum went and replaced the guinea pig.
Oh, God.
Because it had died. So I never knew. And it was only like weeks later. She said, have you noticed anything different about your guinea pig? And I was like, no. She went, it's a completely different one. So Erin's just said she's heard about goldfish, so I
Go
do
on,
have
Jimmy.
another story about
Oh,
that.
no,
where-
just stop with the stories.
Where the kids' goldfish died, and I asked my husband at the time if he would replace them because I was really worried they'd get upset. And I fell for it as well when they come home, and I said, oh, and he said no, he wouldn't do it. And then I come home, and I was like, oh, you did replace them. And then when we went towards it, it stuck carrots on sticks.
That is quite worrying.
But there we go, we got the card done. And there's our beautiful Lily.
I have no idea how he just got through that last 20 minutes. Rachel says, don't put your peace lilies in a huge pot so there's loads of room for the roots. Ah, that's what you mean by in a large pot.
So just keep it in the pot it's in.
Yeah, put them in a pot close to the size of the root ball. You're welcome, she says.
Oh, thank you very much.
Thank you, Rachel. That's why she's radical. I'll recap on the decoupage flower stamp and die sets in just a second. Thank you, Tracy. Tracy's just brought me a cup of coffee. Thank you very much. The Creative Expressions goodies, right? They're coming back at 6 o'clock. You need to be quick, though, because the pixie powders are absolutely flying out of the door. Let me show you the essentials, first of all. Half the stock has gone. I did say, didn't I, that these would disappear. Half the stock has gone. People have been shopping since the lovely Gwen popped out the studio half an hour ago. She's back in an hour and a half. Get these now whilst you can. You've seen that 25ml bottles, a little goes a long, long way. And if you like the look of the cards that I'm showing you here, showing you the kind of effects that you can achieve, for goodness sake, make sure you go back and watch the last show with Gwen to see all of the effects you can achieve with these pixie powders. They are next level, these pixie bursts. You're going to absolutely love them. If you've not yet bought them, please get them now, because come 6 o'clock, I think we'll be talking maybe 70, 80% gone. These will disappear. $14.37 is the platinum price in the UK, $21.60 if you're shopping in the US. That's the essentials. And then we also have the brights. Guess what? 50% of these gone as well. I think the majority of people going for both sets. So the black cherry, purple orchid is, I think, my favourite within that collection. Joint top alongside the rusty red, which is beautiful. And again, as I've said, I can't emphasise enough that you only need like the smallest amount to create these amazing backgrounds. Wild moss, beautiful. And then lastly is that green jasper. Look at that. And again, when you use these, it is like, whoever said it, like a silent firework display, just adding your water and seeing all of these colours coming to the fore. Half the stock has gone there. Everyone saves 10%. Platinum members, you're at $14.37 or $21.60. and also flying out the door. Say bye-bye to the Easy Mist spray bottle. 60% of the stock of this bad boy has gone. It's a big spray bottle in the first instance, so you're going to get 200 ml of your water in there. You've got that really, really nice ergonomically designed trigger on this. It's a nice big size, so if you do struggle with the smaller bottles, if you find it quite hard for whatever reason to use the trigger, you won't hear, and if you spray it, it's a couple of times, isn't it, or was it 3? I think if you spray 3 times, you'll then get a continuous burst of water coming out. So once again, you know, if you struggle with sort of repetitive movements with your fingers, this potentially could be a bit of a game changer for you. £7.99 is the platinum price here, or $12, but as I've said, that will disappear, those will disappear as well. Get them now, don't run the risk of being part of that mad scrum, which will no doubt come later on. Lots of love for that last project of Debbie's. Lovely card, says Debbie. Sorry, lovely card, Debbie, says Mary on YouTube. And Sherry says, lovely lily card, Debbie, absolutely gorgeous. I'll show you the boards once again. I've just looked at the time, I can't believe we've only got 25 minutes to go. Where is the day going? This is the full collection, brand new launch as of 2 o'clock this afternoon. Lots of you have snapped it up. If you like the look of it and perhaps you can't spread for the full collection today, you can get these on a 2 for deal, 2 for £26 or 2 for $30, but we've included some of the most gorgeous floors as far as I'm concerned. I really like the carnation here. I think it's gorgeous. I like the example that we've got on the board for you there as well. So you've got the dies which will work perfectly with those stamps to be able to create the most stunning decoupage flowers, and you know, whether you're using your hot glue gun with these, whether you like to decoupage with your 3D chunky glue, it's entirely up to you, but beautiful dies. Lovely detail on these. So again, if you want to use these without the stamps, you can just choose the cardstock that you want to use to create your flowers, or as we said, choose your paper, choose your vellums, all these sort of things, even your foam as well. These will work beautifully with, and indeed if you just want to stamp out the images, of course you can do that as well. This is the gorgeous fuchsia. Again, go back to the last hour that we did, so about 2.5 hours ago, when you saw Debbie working with that fabulous fuchsia. It is a gorgeous, gorgeous set demo, and you'll get to see the finished card actually when we do the demo of the show vote in around about 15 minutes time. Then you've got the fragrant sweet pea, which is gorgeous. That one there is the radiant rose. Again, loads of different layers you can build up on that. No, I agree with you. Yeah, you know, radiant rose, I normally think of roses as red, but of course you can get all different colour roses, can't you? Yellow roses mean friendship, I think. I think I am right. Where did I pluck that bit of knowledge from? You've then got your lovely lilac. And then finally, as we've just seen, the delicate lily. Big size stamps as well, so if you want to get practicing with your colouring too, whether you're more into your alcohol markers or indeed your watercolours, you are going to have fun with those. And also potentially grabbing some of those bad boys along with some of these bad boys, the Pixie Bursts. I think these would play very nicely together, wouldn't they? Would you play nicely? You would, and you would, wouldn't you? Yeah, I know you would. So again, get these in your basket because they will all work beautifully together. £55.99 or $63.44 platinum, or as I said, you can go on a 2 for 26 or 2 for 30. Right, we're going to squeeze in one more demo.
Yeah, absolutely. Radiant Rose, I thought we would go for. Absolutely. It's a gorgeous one, this one. You've got real detailed dies in all of the dies. You've got the big sort of thorny leaf on here, then you've got your actual rose die, plus you're getting your stamps. So what I am going to do is just die cut out of it. So this book, it was just, you can get them in charity shops, so literally just a book here, which we're going to cut our roses out of. Now I've got 6 pages of the book. So you can cut out quite a lot in one go. I'm also just going to stamp, so you could stamp if you wanted to your main rose. I'm not though, because I want the pages from the actual book. And then I'm going to use the actual stamp of the leaf to stamp down here. And I'm going to use the smoked emerald, and we're using it in our quick drying ink. So it's just another different way of getting your leaves looking a little bit different, but without having to colour them in, because I want to keep it sort of plainish. So we're just going to tap that one down, making sure all that leaf is stamped out. So I can just see around the bottom there. So I'm going to pop that down and just stamp that down again, just to get all the bottom piece. Then I'm just going to turn it around. I've done it so my piece of card is central to my board. And then when I turn it round the opposite way, it will cut me then another one, or stamp me another leaf, just on this side. Was you going to say something then, Ben?
No, no. Oh, my thoughts coming out loud then.
No, I thought you sort of, you know, when you hear almost like a little, not a tut, but like as if you're going to speak, like a smack of your lips.
Like that?
Yes.
No, I did not smack my lips.
He didn't smack your lips. I'm just hearing it. So he wasn't going to speak. Right, so take that one away. So that's our leaf. Pop that over there. And then we can die cut those and then die cut our flowers. So let's take that leaf off. Oh, it doesn't want to come away.
Made a funny noise.
Cool, that's a strong bit of tape on there. There we go. And again, you can see that it's so easy to do. You literally place over the top. You can see a slight rim around the outside. So you've never got to worry about getting it in the right position. And then we're going to use this one as well. So let's pop that. I'm going to pop it on this side.
What's the book you're cutting up?
I don't actually know what the book was. I didn't really look, if I'm honest.
How to keep peace lilies alive for a year. No! I'm just interested to have a quick look. Let's have a look.
Would you like to read some passage from it? And someone, I bet one of our lovely crafters out there will know what it is.
The first line I've read is a bit weird.
I'm reading Stephen King at the moment.
What? You want me to read a line and then you'll be able to Google where it's
Type
from?
it in Google and then, yeah, it might be able to come up. Google's powerful stuff, Ben.
Katie's got into reading Natalie's mantras too. Now we can't stop quoting them at each other. The trouble is, they don't actually tell you how to do the job. What I need is a mantra telling you how to get past the question. May I ask what it is in connection with? I swing my chair over to Natalie's desk to get out all the Leonidas sports paperwork.
The Leonidas.
The cardboard file has fallen off its hangers inside her drawer. So with a muttered curse, I gather all the papers together and pull them out.
Oh. Wow. Erin, let us know.
Sorry. Oh! Oh, sorry. They mentioned Gordon Ramsay in here.
Oh, yeah.
Where's the rest of the book?
Home.
Oh.
Just all the pages out.
Oh, right. The main character looks like she's called Natalie, and there's a character in here called Lara Lington. Lara, not Laura. L-A-R-A.
That's the same name as Al's daughter.
Is it?
Lara.
Langton. No, Lington. Lara Lington.
Lara Lington.
L-I-N-G-T-O-N.
It's like a proper education on books and flowers today, isn't it?
Nobody really cares, I don't think, what book it is today, but it's interesting.
No. And then I'll feel really bad because it'll be a really good book and I've cut it all up.
It'll be like some book that's it'll be like a really rare book. Can you imagine?
Can you imagine that happening?
20s girl.
I wouldn't. Honestly, I didn't even look. I just thought, oh, that'll do. I can cut that out. I can cut them pages out. It looks like a nice book that wouldn't have anything that you can't say or read.
Anyway.
Right. So we didn't find a lot out then, did we?
Not really.
Not really. Oh, there you go. She's got an overactive imagination.
Who has, you?
Are you a book reader? No, Laura Lington.
Oh.
Are you a book reader?
More so as I've got older. I like to read books about people, biographies,
biographies, yeah.
So I've obviously read Sarah's book recently.
Yeah.
What books have I read? I mean, obviously I read Arnold Schwarzenegger's book. I read on holiday. I read a book about my rugby team, Exeter Chiefs.
Your rugby team?
Huh?
Your rugby team?
The rugby team that I support.
Right, sorry, yeah. I was just going to say, I thought you were a cricket man.
But yeah, I like finding out about people and, people. Bruce Forsyth, I read his book.
Okay.
David Hasselhoff, he had an interesting book. I'll tell you what I did read, which was really good, which Laura gave to me. It's the TV show that it's got the guy who, Paddington Bear, Ben Whishaw. It's the Diaries of a Junior Doctor in the NHS. This is going to hurt. That was really good. Have you heard of that?
We've read the book. Well, I haven't read the book. Al read the book to me.
Oh, right, yeah. So Laura took that on holiday and read that. And then when I finished my book on the Exeter Chiefs, I then read that. And it's very good book. So I read that.
Yeah, the programme didn't, I don't think, put it in the light that I read it in.
Oh, okay.
So I thought the book was better.
Yeah. Rachel just says, it's a Sophie Kinsella book. I just Googled the character too. She says it's chick lit.
Oh, that's it. Yes, it is.
Yeah, chick
Yes.
lit. That's chick literature,
Yes.
apparently. Yeah.
It feels lovely. Come and feel one of these leaves, Ben.
I'm coming.
I know that sounds a really funny thing
Come
to
and
say.
feel my
but-
leaves.
But when they're cut out, yeah, feel them.
Oh, yeah.
They're really cool, aren't they?
They are. Don't want to let that go. It's going to blow away.
I know it's going to blow away, but yeah, they feel, and so being able to manipulate leaves like this are really cool. So to put them together, like we did earlier, if you curl one of your leaves, so pop that, let me bring in my tool. If you curl one of your leaves in, so just like so, it creates that first bud in the front.
Yeah.
And then you can start by just completely putting the rest round, which creates, now you carry on like that. Now just because we haven't got a lot of time, I've already started one, so you just continue to put your buds like this until you get to this sort of stage where you've got all of them put in place, you can see, and then you just start to layer them on top. And then what you want to do is, let's bring in my mat, I do want to create just a little bit of sort of curvature on the leaves. So let's just pop some of these round. It will just make sure that when they go on, they will really sort of hold in shape. Another good way of, I don't know if anyone's ever done it before, but if you use, do you know you get spray starch for your, if you use that on flowers like this, they really keep their shape well.
Yeah, that's a great idea.
So just continuing with that ball tool. It doesn't take long at all.
Leslie's just said, Leslie Tull, Crafters TV, the home of everything, even book clubs. Yeah, we do everything here, don't
We should have book clubs now, shouldn't we, on Crafters TV? We could then craft with it afterwards. Read and craft.
That's it. Don't let Debbie near any of your books.
I'm more of I listen to books, so I have audio books.
Yeah.
Because I can't concentrate reading a book. I lose concentration.
Well, and also
reading.
you do a lot of travelling, of course, don't you? So
Yes.
it's nice to have an audio book in the car.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I always like it, and I think a lot of them do. Oh, that's the other one I listened to recently was. You know Graham Hall, the dog trainer guy who we had on Crafters TV last year. I listened to his audio book, and it was really nice to hear the author of the book reading their own words. Like Sarah's done that with her book,
Well,
hasn't she?
actually, yes. And I've not downloaded Sarah's book yet, and I keep sort of thinking, do I want to listen to Sarah for hours and hours when I hear her so much? I didn't want that to sound really rude.
Yeah, we hear enough of her around the building, don't we? Don't want her in the car as well, rabbiting on for hours. Oh my goodness me!
Yeah, so it just seems a bit strange listening to. I'd be thinking, is that Sarah over my shoulder?
Oh dear.
It's just weird when you know the person.
Yeah, I know what you mean. I know what you mean.
Yeah, I didn't mean that at all rudely to
It
Sarah.
didn't come across like that.
So, but I would, yeah, I do keep thinking that I think I will. I've got her book, but I do keep thinking I might get the audio book, and then I can just put her on when I want to.
Yeah.
So I haven't got, if I don't want to listen for 4 hours, I can just have her on an hour at a time.
And then turn her off when you want to.
Turn her off when I need to. Right, so I'm just building these up. What I'm doing with these ones, I'm making sure I'm filling the gaps. So by putting 2 in together, it just makes sure that we fill those gaps. I'm doing this quite full rows on there, and then we're just going to pop that into place.
Samantha's messaging saying, I love Stephen King books.
Yeah, well, that's what I'm reading at the moment.
Oh, yeah?
Pet Cemetery at the moment.
Now, here's the thing. All right, so I've seen that movie.
Yeah. Oh, no, the movie is nothing on
Are
it.
the Stephen King movies, they're not as good as the books, so the books are always better, are they?
Yeah. Although, we were just talking about the new horror film on Netflix.
Dr. Sleep, it's called,
If
isn't it?
anybody loves their horror film, oh,
George has seen it, have you?
Oh, it was brilliant. It's right up there with my top horror films now. It was so good, so good. So it's the Shining
Right.
film. So if you like the Shining, you don't have to watch the Shining, but it was, it's brilliant. Honestly, but I can't wait to tell Craig because he's in tonight and he loves his horror films.
Is it jumpy or gory?
No, not boring.
No, gory.
Oh, not gory.
Just
not
jumpy.
gory. It's not even jumpy. It's just very suspenseful. It keeps you really gripped the whole way through. It's amazing. Like, amazing. Yeah, loved it. Absolutely loved it. Right, so we're going to put a quick box together. I don't think we're going to be time to do the base. I'm just going to do the bottom and then I'll pinch the base of the other one. So let's pop this together. Oh, I think I've come to my silver piece on the end. And then... Oh, is Craig here?
Yeah, he's just giving me a big wave.
Tell him, see, I'm going to tell him about the film. He'll love it.
He'll be excited about that.
Yeah, it's very good.
Yeah, he loves his horrors. He sits
Yeah,
in and
me
watches
too.
them on his own, doesn't he? Like, I went round to his house, when was that, back in January, February, to watch the new Halloween movie. But yeah, he sits in and turns all the lights off.
Yeah, I would do that. My love of horrors comes from my dad, and he was probably quite naughty, really, because I watched my first horror film at 13.
Yeah.
And loved them.
Yeah.
And I am a little bit, I love gore. I love a bit of a gore fest. and I'm always waiting for something to scare me.
Yeah.
So I've got some extra bits here.
I prefer the more. I'm not a massive gory movie fan. I like the jump scare movies. That's what I like. Like the original Halloween movie is one of my favourites because there's not that much gore in it, but there's so many like jumpy bits where you'll see like the boogeyman or whatever, the bogeyman, and then the next shot he's disappeared. I like those kind of things.
Yeah.
But I like a horror movie, but Laura, she does not like them, so I don't end up watching it a lot because if we ever choose a movie together, we can't watch a horror because she just won't watch them.
I can't imagine you not liking Doctor Sleep. It's very, very good.
Is it a good movie to show someone who doesn't like horror movies?
Actually, yeah, it's not. I mean, well, you don't want to. If there's someone that has nightmares, maybe not.
Look, I have seen The Shining. Yeah, it's like that kind of thing. The thing with Laura that makes me laugh is whenever there is like a suspenseful bit in a movie or whatever, she, you know, like if there's something that's scary happening, most people would cover their eyes, wouldn't they? But she covers her ears up, and it always makes me laugh why she does that. She covers her ears when it gets to a scary bit. Yeah.
That's funny.
All right, well, I might try that later on my own.
Oh, definitely. So anyway, so when I was when Friday the 13th first come out, so I don't know when Friday the 13th first come out, it must have been when I was quite young. There was me, my brother and my cousin, and we weren't allowed to watch it, so we must have been quite young, and we all sat watching it, and I ended up watching it on my own while my brother and cousin went and played Monopoly in the kitchen because they were too scared to watch it, and I watched it all on my own. And I've just always loved horror films.
Rhonda says, I watched Psycho when I was 13 and I couldn't take a shower for a month without my mum in the room.
I've got glue everywhere, look. Right, so let's pop our box together and then I'm going to decorate it with our flowers. So I didn't give you the measurements. Let me just, before I take that off, I'm not sure, did I write them down? Yes, I did. So the lid is 8 by 8 and I scored it at 1 inch. And then the base I did at 10 by 10 and scored it at 2 inches. just to make a beautiful box. And box making is just one thing I love doing. I could make boxes and flowers all day long. So they literally go hand in hand. So bring the base in there just to pop that on top, like so. And then we're going to decorate with our flowers. So we've got our one that I've just done. Then I've got another one here.
Pretty.
And then we've got one here. So we've got our 3 different flowers. Let me grab this one. We're going to put our leaves. So we've got our leaves here as well. I'm going to just give these a little bit of sort of bending.
Okay.
And this time we're going to bend these sort of up towards us. And then pop some glue on. So there, and then we'll pop another one on the other side.
Georgia the Joystick's grandma apparently had her shower curtain in her house was the silhouette of the killer.
Oh, that's
in
brilliant.
Psycho. So apparently that's why
That
George
is so
George
cool.
never showered at his grandma's house. That's quite a cool shower curtain to have, actually. Yeah. Not the kind of thing I would imagine a granny having, but there you go. Oh, she just loved horror movies. There you go. This is coming together beautifully, isn't it?
It's funny, isn't it, how people love one thing and people, you know, just each to their own.
Exactly right.
Running out of glue. Let me just grab another glue stick. Pop in there. And then one more. Yeah, I think it's a tough one to choose today with all the beautiful makes that we've got add on with Gwen and the flowers throughout the day. But this one,
This is right up there, I'm telling you.
Very nice, yes. And then I've just got a little ribbon here to finish off. But I'm feeling like I should have put my ribbon. I'm going to pop that on just into there on the side. Feel like I've got a gap there. And there we go.
Wow.
But look how beautiful the roses look on that printed paper. Just absolutely gorgeous.
Not that we would ever encourage you to go tearing up books, but it's a great, great way to make some gorgeous flowers, isn't it? Shall we very quickly get a vote going? Do you want to do yours first, or shall I do Gwen's first? I'll tell you what, I'll do Gwen's whilst you get yours sorted. So you're voting on your favourite card from the last 3 hours. So here are Gwen's makes. Number 1 is that gorgeous dragonfly using the Pixie Burst. And how gorgeous is this one? Whichever way you want it, really, using the stencil and the Pixie Burst. So number 1 and number 2, and then Debbie, you've got number 3.
So number 3 is the carnations.
Yep.
Number 4
yeah.
is the fuchsias. Number 5 is the lily, and number 6 is the roses. There we
This
go.
is a toughie. I would not like to have to call that. You've got about 3 minutes to get your vote in, and we'll announce the winner in just a few moments' time. Just to announce and let you know, in case you haven't been here through the day today, lots to come over the course of the next couple of hours, or indeed next 3 hours. We're back with Creative Expression. So Gwen will be here with Craig at 6 o'clock this evening with the exotic paper cut die and stencil bundle. These are beautiful. You're going to get your 3 dies, your gorgeous wise wolf, you've got the stunning exotic elephant, and you've got your mystical mermaid. 3 super dies which come with your 7x7 stencils too, which is your henna petals and then your star flower as well. We've not really seen that in much detail, but that's going to be focused on at 6 o'clock with Gwen and Craig. £37.99 or $60.79 is the platinum price right there if you want to jump in and grab that. All of those are available individually for you too. We've then got the essential bundle as well. Again, we've seen lots and lots of this over the course of Wake Up Call. This again is 3 beautiful dies. So you've got your butterfly bunny. There's my fave, the perfect day with that gorgeous little kitty. And then from small cats to big cats, the beautiful tiger blooms. So 3 dies you'll get in that collection. And then you're going to get 2 stencils as well. The timeless florals, which you saw in Wake Up Call. And then the graceful butterflies, which also you saw then too. So those are available in that paper cut die and stencil essential bundle. £38.86 platinum or $61.56 if you're shopping with us in the US and you're a platinum member. And worth bearing in mind as well that proving very, very popular indeed have been the water spritzer. That water bottle has been flying out of the door, and of course all of those pixie powders as well, the pixie bursts. So just to let you know, so to mark your card, 6 o'clock, 1 o'clock Eastern, 10 a.m. Pacific, it is an hour with Craig and Gwen from Creative Expressions. Stock levels of items will be going down, so make sure you get whatever it is that you want, potentially before the show. And then following up from that, from 7 o'clock, 2 o'clock Eastern, it is a 2-hour US warehouse clearance. It's the follow-up to what happened on Monday. Lots of the same deals, plus items that you won't have seen from that show. So the Lucky Dips are still there. You've also got the mystery bags. We've got the adhesive bag, also you've got the core tools bag, and then we've got loads of other goodies, including lots of foil press items. We've got storage on the show, we've got the pens, we've got loads of kind of core craft room tools like your guillotine, your glass mat, and more. It's going to be fast and furious. That show, of course, available to watch for everybody, but you can only shop if you're in the US. As I've said, we will have another UK warehouse clearance show soon, I am sure of that. If you are shopping from the USA warehouse clearance show, make sure you look for those orange stickers, and you will have to check out your baskets separately to anything else. If you're buying this, for example, you won't be able to check out your baskets with any of the items from the USA warehouse clearance, but head to the web, you'll see all the various pages, and you can get shopping ahead. That show coming your way from 7 with Craig and Debbie. We've got a result. It's over your side of the studio.
4, 5, 6 and 7.
The demo of the show, in second place was number 5, but the winner, 4.
This one. The first one.
No, the second one. I've had 1, 2, 3, 4. It's the fuchsia.
The fuchsia.
Yeah.
Yes, I'm not surprised. That is absolutely beautiful. Yeah, lovely. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, McGiggles.
Yes, it's been amazing. Thank you, Ben. I will see you next week.
I'll see you next week. As I say, I'm back on Tuesday. Gilmore, thank you. Gilmore says, going to miss you, Ben. Enjoy your time off. Thank you. I'm off to play cricket this evening. Then I've got 4 days off with the family. So, yeah, I'll see you on Tuesday of next week. But stay around. The guys have got a great evening coming up for you with lots of great bargains to be had. In the meantime, though, if you've got any of these items in your carts, in your baskets, get them checked out and make sure you come back in an hour's time with Craig and Gwen, and the lovely Debbie will be here as well. I will see you next week. Bye for now.